Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Here we go on a Tuesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. General, we've navigated our way here past Memorial Day weekend, right to a Tuesday. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you.
How you doing, sir? You enjoy a couple days off?
It was good. Yeah, it was a good time. I had a nice weekend for sure. Had a cookout over at my dad's and their new spot up in Powell on Sunday evening. So that was pretty fun. He fired up the smoker, man. He was smoking like a pork butt for like 12 hours. So
nice.
That was pretty solid. He did some wings too, Bob, and some kind of like baked beans, like smoked beans in there, some mac and cheese.
Perfect.
And he said to me, he goes, "Hey, don't tell anybody in this." He goes, "But the key to really getting that good tasting smoked beans," he's like, "you put them right below the pork butt and you let the fat drip in it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's perfect. That's exactly what you want."
That's a nice little trick right there. I like that.
It was great, man. It was great. So that was pretty fun on Sunday. Worked on Saturday, did Tee to Green on Saturday morning. So had a good time with that. And then went and watched some soccer a little bit later on. Took William to...
it's just an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just an hour.
Fastest hour in radio.
90% of it was pre-recorded.
Perfect.
And then I'm trying to think on Saturday what we do. Oh, we went to High Bank. We went to High Bank Metro Park.
There you go.
Took William, took Theo out there. William we put him in the creek. He was loving it. And then when we decided that it was time to go, we realized that he did not want to leave, and he threw like his first temper tantrum. Like he was pretty upset at the entire world at that point in time.
Good. Really just you and Meredith, but either way.
Well, yeah, but we are his entire world.
Yeah. Well, no, Theo was in there, but
That's true.
Theo would have probably been on board with staying.
Yeah, he was in the creek. He was laying around, rolling around, all kinds of good stuff.
Nice, man. Well, that's good. That sounds like a nice little time. I mean, managed to avoid the rain a little bit there.
Yep.
It rained a little Sunday. Yesterday was kind of weird. You know, it was like looked sunny and warm, and then the clouds would go back. It would get
like
cold.
30-mile-an-hour winds kind of all day. It was super cloudy. Thought it was going to rain for the entire afternoon.
And it never really did.
Yeah.
Supposed to rain today, maybe a little more on Wednesday, but a little cool week here to wrap out the final week of June, baby.
Yeah, for sure. It's fine, man. We'll take that. Did some yard work yesterday. Got the mulch laid down. So, we're feeling pretty good. How about you, man? How was your Memorial Day?
Well, I'm doing well, man. I got to get the mulch laid down. I got to get it ordered and get it here and get that taken care of. Got a decent amount of stuff to get done this week. You know, it's just kids got out of school on Thursday. It feels like a month ago now as the weekend was so long. Kind of starts on Thursday night. You get Memorial Day in there, and all of a sudden, yesterday's show it was a fun one with it off. I don't mind working on Memorial Day, but it was a day of reflection, day to remember, and nice little day there, nice little weekend. Kids had a lot of sleepovers, running around, sport-free weekend, which was actually pretty sweet. Unfortunately, we were supposed to go to a party on Sunday that got canceled just because it was mostly going to be outside, so. It gets a little rough sometimes, but pretty solid time, man. Really enjoyed it, and I'm glad you did as well.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty solid. So good to take the day yesterday, and then we'll be back here for a full week. Of course, then leading into next week, the Memorial Tournament. Some of my favorite days on the calendar in Central Ohio. So super pumped about that. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Looks like we're finally going to get an answer to the Jackets GM search this week. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. Schlegs, we had an opportunity to talk to him last night. We're going to air that for you coming up here at 7:35 this morning. What does the future for the Big 12 and the ACC look like? I know there's kind of some fighting going on a little bit, maybe behind the curtains. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the 7 o'clock hour. Good news for Bengals fans over the weekend as they get OTAs kind of rip-rared and ready to rock here. Do that in the 7 o'clock hour as well. We'll be digressed by the great Timmy May of Lettermen Row coming up at 7:35. No, he had a busy weekend over, I think, covering his 40th Indianapolis 500. So we'll check in with Timmy coming up at 7:35. Then Uncle Beau, he's going to round out the program with us as he does every single Tuesday coming up here at 8:35. Before we get into anything else today, it is Tuesday, the 28th day of May, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bobo, what do you got lined up for us on this big Tuesday, buddy?
Oh, we got a nice, robust show here today, Beam. How about this for you? This date, It is Tuesday, May 28th, 149th day of the year, 217 days remaining. Those numbers are tightening up, Beam. Almost getting to the point where we will be flipping this thing over. Will be what the summer solstice will be on us before too long. Yep. Longest day of the year. This date, 1588, the Spanish Armada with 130 ships and 30,000 men leave Lisbon, Portugal to depart for the English Channel. It was not a auspicious trip for them, Beam. There's destruction of the Great Armada at that point.
Yeah.
This date, 1937, Volkswagen is founded. How about that? The German auto manufacturer.
Saw a sweet retro bug yesterday when we were kind of driving around, walking around the neighborhood. It was pretty incredible.
Caleb told me he wanted a rainbow slug bug as his first car. I said, I don't know if we're going to do that or not. But you can dream, buddy. A dude can dream.
This one, I don't know, Bob, how much work that they had to put into it, but it was like chrome finish on it. Like sweet, like matte black, like bump. Like it was... I don't know. You're not very taken aback by many slug bugs, but that one, I'm like, that was pretty cool.
There you go. How about this? This date, 1951, Willie Mays gets his first major league hit. Shark, do you know what that first major league hit was?
I'm going to say, because you're asking, Bob, that it was a home run.
It was. Do you know how many at-bats it took him to get his first major league hit?
It took a while. In fact, his manager said, stop stressing, you're going to be my everyday center fielder. It was like in the teens, 15, really? I'll say.
Not quite that high. He was 0 for 12.
Okay.
But that's probably, 3 games, 2.5 games worth of not getting hit? I mean, the guy did all right. How many home runs did he have? 688?
666.
666, yeah. So his first career hit, a home run. 660.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
On this date, 1951. So a little bit of a inauspicious start to the beginning of it, but that first home run was a moniker of things to come.
Seriously.
How about that? And then this date, 1982. I don't know where this ranks. Where does Rocky 3 rank for you, Shark?
Among the Rockies?
The pantheon of Rockies.
Fourth?
Third.
Third?
In fact, I go in order. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You think 4 is the fourth?
Yeah.
Well, he's a Soviet.
It is. That was a tough loss for you.
He's a commie. Yeah.
Tough loss.
Well, I didn't think about that.
He was distressed when Drago went down.
He was.
I mean, yeah, you get one, of course, is as much a love story as it is a boxing
it's an actual
story.
Movie.
And then 2, he beats Apollo, and 3, he beats, the man.
You lose Mick. I mean, it's devastating.
Yeah. All 4 of them were great.
Hey.
5 was awful.
5 is terrible. We can eliminate that one. But Rocky 3 opens in theaters with Eye of the Tiger as its theme song. 42 years today in 1982.
He's just another fighter.
No, he ain't just another fighter. This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry. Hell, you ain't been hungry since you won that belt.
Oh, what are you talking about? I've had 10 title defenses.
That was easy.
What do you mean easy?
They was handpicked.
Setups?
Nah, they were setups. They was good fighters, but they wasn't killers like this guy. He'll knock you into tomorrow, Rock. 3 years ago, you was supernatural. You was hard and you was nasty and you had this cast iron jaw. But then the worst thing happened to you that could happen to any fighter. You got civilized.
Oh, one of the great ones. That was on his deathbed, throwing that stuff out there to Rocky. This date, 1994, after 22 years of restoration, one of the most famous paintings, famous works of art in the entire world. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci goes back on display in Milan. So being able to be shared with the world then at that point. And then on this day, 2006, the greatest home run hitter of all time passed Babe Ruth to become the number 2 all time with 715. Shark refused to find sound for that. Conscientious objector.
I noticed an absence of it on the sheet.
Of course, exactly. Some other famous birthdays. This day, 1888, one of the best athletes of all time that played a multitude of sports, was the 1912 decathlon and pentathlon gold medalist. Those were stripped, but then reinstated 30 years later. Jim Thorpe, one of the greats all time. Another great all-time, Jerry West, born in this state, 1986. The logo, the 1972 NBA champion, 10-time first team, 2-time second team All-NBA. Gladys Knight, the Empress of Soul, turning 80 today.
I love her.
How about Patch Adams, funny man, born in the state, 1945, made a movie about him. John Fogerty of CCR, turning 79 today. And Kirk Gibson, 2-time World Series champion with one of the most iconic hits you will find, turning 67 years young today.
And look who's coming up. All year long, they looked to him to light the fire, and all year long, he answered the demands until he was physically unable to start tonight with 2 bad legs. And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. Sachs waiting on deck, but the game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone! In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Is that 88 Sharks, second World Series.
Game 1.
Gibson, absolutely. What a great shot by him. One of the most iconic scenes you'll ever find in sports. Glenn Rice, NBA champ, turning 57 today. Gosh, I couldn't believe he was getting that old there. Wild to see. Guy I grew up watching, loved him. And then born in this state, 1969. We lost him in 2002.
Shame.
Former mayor of Toronto, but I'd like to call him the mayor of the world, Mr. Rob Ford.
There has been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine. I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine. Can you get off my driveway, please? Can you get off my driveway? Can you get off my property, please? Don't get off my property!
Leaving! Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine. Am I an addict? No. Have I tried it? Probably in one of my drunken stupors, probably approximately about a year ago. With today's announcement, I know I embarrassed everyone in the city. I was elected to do a job, and that's exactly what I'm going to continue doing.
No quitting Rob Ford right there.
I didn't smoke crack cocaine. Fast forward 20 seconds. I smoked crack cocaine.
Maybe in one of his drunken stupors, Beam. It wasn't his fault because, Shark, if you can't remember, it didn't happen.
True.
I love Rob Ford.
R.I.P.
Rob Ford is if Chris Farley, one of his characters, became an actual mayor of a major metro city. That's what would have been the case.
Toronto's got like 6 million people.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. And that guy was the guy they thought was best fit to lead. We lost him in 2016, unfortunately, but he was the 64th mayor of Toronto. Rob Ford, former NFL quarterback T.J. Yates, turning 37 today. And Percy Harvin, Super Bowl winner, national champ, turning 36 years young. Some holidays, observances. It is Amnesty International Day, International Hamburger Day. How about that? National Brisket Day.
Ooh.
Get that going for you. And Whooping Crane Day as well, whatever that means, Beam. So those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Tuesday, May 28th, the 149th day of the year and 217 days remaining in this 2024.
Very well done on that, General, as always. Looks like we're finally going to get an answer to the Jackets GM search this week. We'll get into that coming up next. Yeah, that's right. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Tuesday to you. Right now, heading out the door, we do not have any crashes that we're watching on your Central Ohio roadways. We're seeing busy traffic on I-71 near Polaris, also on I-70 as you come into downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Custom Air. This is the time of year when you can get sunburn and frostbite in the same week. Don't let your house feel the same. Be prepared. Schedule an appointment today at CustomAirColumbus.com.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. It is almost that time for Columbus's biggest golf event of the year.
Yep, the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino is giving away all sorts of prizes for their Memorial Wager and Win drawings on Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m.
When?
Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m.
You can win fabulous prizes like Memorial Tournament tickets, golf clubs, and more now until June 6th.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I work for Meijer. People always ask, why do I shop there? It's because I can get great quality and value in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on locally grown asparagus and select cuts of pork. Plus, I can earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st with M-Perks. Meijer has all I need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
My guys at Germain Lexus are getting ready for the Memorial. What they do every single year is let the golfers drive around in beautiful Lexuses for the week. Then they take those cars and sell them to you. You could be driving Rory's car. The Germain all-month-long celebration's going on right now. You can get great deals like this one. 2024 RX 350, 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $49.99 down, $519 a month. I just picked up my brand new RX 350 a few weeks ago. It is plush. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
Wasteful Washington spending is driving up the price of everything in Ohio. Groceries, gas, housing. Senator Sherrod Brown has backed President Biden's agenda 97% of the time, including voting to allow spending tax dollars on illegal immigrants. Senator Brown voted to allow $500 million in COVID checks for illegals. And Brown voted in favor of taxpayer-funded health care for illegals granted amnesty, while some American citizens can't afford to see a doctor. Brown even voted with Biden to give illegal immigrants Social Security benefits for work done illegally. Call Senator Brown at 216-522-7272 and tell him to support S3578, the Protect Medicaid Act, and vote against reckless, out-of-control Washington spending on illegal immigrants. Ohio families need cheaper gas, food, and housing, not handouts to illegal immigrants who haven't played by the rules. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Tracking increasing clouds out there today. There will be a pop-up shower. It'll be windy just like yesterday. Today we're going 72 in Columbus. Tonight dropping down to the mid-50s. And then on your Wednesday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with numerous showers. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, Anthony Schlegel. He's going to join the program. Talked to him last night. Was looking awesome, too, in his cowboy hat. It was the first thing that I noticed about Schlegs.
Oh, yeah,
looking really good.
Yeah, of course.
Really good.
Why not?
How bummed were you yesterday when you heard the news that Bill Walton passed away?
It was tough. He's a couple years older than my dad. I loved those Celtics teams in the 80s and didn't get a chance to really remember watching him play, but watched a ton of highlights of him. And then, for people my age, Beam, and your age, we probably remember him more for his time as a commentator than a player.
Yeah.
And I mean, he put the color in color analyst. I mean, he was definitely a unique bird up there. There was a lot more going on than just basketball breakdowns, but he was a good time to watch. He was definitely a unique guy, and I just thinking with him and Kareem Shark, the fact that UCLA had him and Walton as centers, I believe, back to back. How much time was in between them?
1 year. Steve Patterson.
Okay, I said 1 year. That's a pretty nice 7-year run.
Good run. And he was pretty good, too. Patterson was a first-round draft pick by the Cavs.
There you go. But two of the guys that are iconic and just tough to see because only 71 years young.
Yeah.
Those guys, when you're that big, it's tough to live a long time. I believe he was battling cancer, Shark, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
So just losing a tough one on a tough day as well with the Memorial Day and all of the commemorating that's done. But to lose one of the sports icons in the game of basketball, it's a sobering reality of where we're at.
So I was, I think there's a 30 for 30 documentary on him, and I'll have to try to find the name of it for you. And I just remember watching that, and I forget which game. They aired it after like a Pac-12 game that he was on, and like in the lead up to the game, he was just talking about like the bobcat or the like mountain lion that resides in the city of Los Angeles, like kind of over like maybe like the Griffith Park Observatory. I think there was like a mountain lion up there. And he was talking about the mountain lion, and he was like going like 15 minutes in depth on like this mountain lion and like kind of what it meant. Yeah. I'm like, man, that's like pretty remarkable that he could give that much time on that. And then I'm like, I'm gonna stick around for this 30 for 30 documentary afterwards. And it was so funny just kind of like watching him, because you think he's like, all right, man, I mean, you're almost 7 feet tall, like you're a big kid. Like he didn't have that growth spurt, I want to say, until he was like a sophomore in high school. He went from like 6 foot tall, which is fine, to like 6'8", like in a year. And then it's
really?
like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, maybe I can be pretty good at this basketball thing. And he was like, my mom and dad, I used to just hang out outside because he's from California. The weather was pretty nice. And he's like, I used to hang out outside, and, my buddies and I would get together and play basketball. And they didn't really understand it because they were more in like arts and music and everything instead of basketball. And then when coaches started coming around and be like, hey, you might have a future in this. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, and then I first, got drafted because where did he went to Portland, right? Like right after college.
Won his first NBA championship there.
Yeah, and he was like, it was the best thing that ever happened to me moving up to Portland. He was like, I would, training camps and all that was going on. He's like, after that, I would just go hike like all day. He was like, then I would camp, and then I would show back up the next day for training camp. He's like, it was great. I just spent 95% of my time outside, and the only time that I wasn't when I was playing basketball.
There you go.
He's a beautiful soul.
Oh, man. He is. He is one of the best, man. And like you said, as you listen to him talk about basketball games, very little did he actually talk about the games.
Yeah.
He was mostly talking about all kinds of other stuff that was actually going on.
How to watch, it's called The Luckiest Guy in the World, 30 for 30, and it just like chronicles his upbringing, and it was pretty good. So rest in peace to Bill Walton. Got the news yesterday. Got pretty sad when that came down. Like, I mean, I always enjoyed watching him, whether it was a late night Pac-12 game or whatever, him rarely talking about basketball and talking about other things. But yeah, rest in peace to Bill Walton. So we're going to get some Blue Jackets news. It does seem this week, Bob. Former Carolina Hurricanes president and general manager Don Waddell just announced last week that he was leaving.
Don Coryell?
Him too, that he was going to leave Carolina. He said, you know what, I'm done. I spent the last 10 years here.
Well, he's built a pretty good team.
He has built a really good team. And unfortunately, they had a bit of a rough road against the Rangers. But you look at the Rangers and what they've done, like they're also pretty good, Yeah. I mean, they find themselves.
There's a chance they might be going to the Stanley Cup.
There's a pretty good opportunity for that. And so Elliot Friedman reported this last week, like on Friday, said that the organization between the Blue Jackets and Waddell have come into contract negotiations, but kind of got stalled over the holiday weekend. Said it was pretty clear that when I got out last week,
Waddell, so he was the president of Carolina?
President and GM. Said last week Waddell was interviewing in Columbus, and that's the road that it was going down. And it's going to get done. I'm not exactly sure how all this is going to look yet. We might not get clarity for a little bit. He also said, Friedman did, about what happened in Carolina for the change being made. He said, I just think he ran out of time with the Hurricanes owner and the partnership group there. I would suspect Waddell is going to be compensated higher in Columbus than he was in Carolina. Okay.
All right, well, I'll give the Jackets some credit there. You're going and getting a guy who has built a pretty darn good team in Carolina. And I'll say this, like Charlotte is a very similar market to Columbus or Carolina. Are they in Charlotte?
Well, they're in Raleigh.
And it's it's a very similar region. It's not a traditional hockey market, but they've built a winter down there. They've done it the right way. It's not a huge market. It's not one of your, Northeast, or Canadian clubs where it's something that has been ingrained in the DNA of the people there for 60 to 80 years. And so there's always going to be similar challenges. And the fact that, he's leaving on his own terms and they're going to compensate him more. Now, the question that I have is, and this has been rumored as well, like what's John Davidson role in all this?
And I think he did too a couple of months ago. I don't even know when the season ended for us, 6 weeks ago or so.
I don't know, probably like December 18th.
That's a good point. He said that he would also be willing to give up roles and titles. So this may be a situation where he comes in as he takes over as the president and the general manager.
Which is what he was in Carolina.
Yeah.
And if he's going to be compensated at a higher level, then maybe he's going to have that role. And it'll be interesting to see how him and John Davidson work together and whether John Davidson, how long he stays on. There's a transition period. Who knows? I have no idea how this is going to work. But I think this is something that, for not being a hockey aficionado, this seems like something that should
talk Jackets every day during the season.
We do. We have the Jackets Minute. And all the signs from what has happened to Carolina over the last decade seem like he is responsible for a lot of that success.
The only worry that I have is that he's 65. So, Shark, it seems like when you're getting ready to retire,
exactly, Shark.
Don Waddell says, you know what? Bring on a new adventure.
Give me a new challenge.
Bring me a new city. Bring me a new team that I can raise into contenders.
Exactly, Shark.
Are you looking for a response?
Yeah. I'm looking for a guy.
I think that's called rhetoric, Beam.
Who can rise to the challenge. Who's not. We were giving him crap yesterday on this. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care anymore.
La, 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 la.
Apathy has set in.
It's not apathy. I work hard, and I will continue to work hard until July 11th, 2025.
Only 13 and a half months ago for you, Shark, but who's counting?
It's like 58 weeks on Friday.
Schlegs is up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes that we're watching across your major interstates, but we're seeing busy traffic at the 270-670 split on the east side, also on I-71 near Polaris. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Glow Fiber. Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic business internet solutions, call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine. My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and DeVere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Roof leaks and damage can ruin your business and your reputation. Property management pros trust Legacy Roofing Services, Ohio's leader in commercial roof repair, replacement, and ongoing maintenance. At Legacy, our reputation for fast, reliable, safe, and permanent roofing services for commercial buildings can solve your roofing problems before they become roofing nightmares. Call Legacy Roofing Services today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
At Take 5, we're faster than you think. That means we'll change your oil and have you back on the road before you can count all the change in your center console. Cha-ching, baby. Just sit back and relax while our fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Lowe's knows every project starts with the right tools and equipment. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, save $50 on a V20 string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit. Now only $99. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 5/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Here's Long here on the Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. And last night we were able to check in with this fine gentleman.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
Heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Vegas hotline check with our good friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. How was your Memorial Day, all right?
Happy Tuesday, Columbus. Don't forget, free is never free. Those men and women pay the ultimate price. And as you're celebrating with your families, like I was watching baseball or at the farm, it's like you can never forget that. So, yeah, man, Tuesday, here we go. Big weekend packed with summer baseball has now started. Did a lot of work at the shop, getting ready for the week. Armory kicking off, doing some things. We got cold plunges in, Bob.
Ooh.
And an infrared bed, like stuff slowly matriculating in the building. It's really fun. Gonna be launching those things pretty soon. So, yeah, man, if you're a Shield member, let's get it on. But
yeah,
what a great weekend. Hunter had his first wood bat home run, so that was pretty cool. And of course, Dad doesn't know about the old Twitter machine when it comes to the recruiting process, and you gotta film everything. And of course, I didn't film that. That was the one. So I apologize to him.
You should. I mean, that's kind of a subpar performance from you, Schlegs. It's all right, though. So we got the cold plunges in there. That sounds pretty unbelievable. Are these single-use cold plunges, or is this dude-on-dude cold plunges in there like we used to do, age stacked in?
I don't think why you and I cannot try that, but I'm sure you can. I mean, who's going to be the ones that laser in the middle? Those are the questions that you got to Are you going to put the legs to the side? Somebody's going to go right down the middle? Somebody's going to go outside? Like, how is that going to work? But no, there's single person. There's 4. Actually, what I did was there's 2 of them that are hot and 2 that are cold. So if you did want a contrast, you can. If you want to do hot, you can. If you want to do just the cold plunge, you can. And then if we want to make the entire room a plunge, you can. So that's great. And then the infrared bed, we just picked that up. I still have a really good relationship with the Air Force Research Lab, and they're like, this is the best one to get. So I said, charge it to winning.
What's an infrared bed?
Photobiomodulation. I mean, this bed's crazy, but infrared just helps repair your cells. I like to do it. It actually gives me energy before the day. If I could do it like the very beginning, like before a workout, it'd be fantastic. But I'll say this, of all the modalities when I was in Jacksonville that were utilized from a recovery room per se, that bed was used like 850 times over 6 months. I mean, guys that do it pre-game. There's a lot of things I'm not going to get into the weeds of it, but it's just a really good recovery modality that we now have available to our Shield members. So the biggest thing when it comes to, whether it's medical fitness or recovery is educating people. And that's what we're really trying to do.
It sounds amazing, Schlegs. So basically what you're telling me is if I go to the Armory, become a Shield member, I'm going to be like Tom Cruise between the cold plunges, infrared sauna, cellular repair. You need to call that the vampire room where you go in there.
I love you. Well, I mean, like us, Bob. I mean, we're like Benjamin Button over here, reverse aging in and of itself. And part of that is to have a proactive, healthy lifestyle. And yeah, use these things. And the one thing that people always forget when it comes to all of these things is that sleep is the number one recovery. It's so funny. Like we always try to, I think I touched on this a couple weeks ago. We all look for things to do that aren't hard, and the hardest thing is having discipline to go to sleep, having discipline to have a diet. These things are great. These other modalities are great. They're part of the routine that you build in, right? I created a whole menu for our guys. Besides sleep, eat, hydrate, like what do you do during the week to make sure you're at your max capacity? These are some of those modalities. But yeah, reverse aging, Bob, why not? I just like the way it makes me feel. It does things for me. So I use it. It's probably my number one favorite go-to. But yeah, I mean, reverse aging, why not? Just call it the reverse aging room, the vampire room.
Have you used those float pods? I know that Bob says like 15 minutes of sleep, and that's like 8 hours.
And you know what? Here's the other thing too. Like, let's go. You said infrared sauna. Like, anytime people try to combine modalities, you don't get the full dose of the modality. Let's just face it, okay? So infrared sauna, my opinion, terrible. But, float pods, right? So now you have wet float, you have dry float. Think about this. What are you doing while you're in there? You're lying what? That's what H ends in a horizontal, right? That's recovery, right? You go put them, if you're a Shield member at the Armory, boom, go check out the Normatex. Guess what? You're in a chair, you're horizontal. Everything goes back to one thing, and that's sleep, right? So, yeah, there's great qualities of the infrared bed, but you're laying horizontal. The Normatex, you're horizontal. The float beds, you're horizontal. Like there's a wellness cocoon we had because Trevor Lawrence liked that. Great. I don't care. Go recover your face off in there. Awesome. Right? Guess what? You're horizontal. So whatever it takes you to get there, it's awesome. But I will say float pods for central nervous system activation, fantastic.
That's tremendous, dude. I love where we're at with this, Schlegs. All the science that's getting involved. You're taking this thing to the next level. Spreadsheets.
All right.
How do we log this? Any great spreadsheet, any great strength coach, Schlegs, is a master of Excel. We've learned this now.
So true. I know that you know this. You've seen our guys, God bless them, that are in there hacking away at these Excel spreadsheets. Here's the thing when it comes to sports science. Sports science to me, like the sciences to me, but sports science in particular, it is like finance to business. It validates that sales, operations, and marketing work. That's all. That's all it is, right? You still got to go have a great program. You still got to go coach the crap out of people. It's great that you get objective data as to actually where somebody is. And more importantly, you get to look at the weaknesses that they have, whether it's asymmetrical or they're weak in different parts of their body, and put them into a bucket to where you can improve weaknesses. Louis Simmons at Westside Barbell, what do you say? Weak things break. So if I know what is weak, I can then have a plan to fix it. But again, it goes back to consistent work wins. And I think that's something that all people forget about, man. Those daily habits. What is it that you require to be at your max capacity? And then guess what? Go do those things. And about like you and I, we got kids, Beam, you got a little one, but like you have to be super disciplined in a lot of different areas of your life. And you know what, though? If you decide not to be disciplined that day, you got to charge it to win it and say, but you can't look at the mirror and say, well, why am I like this? Like, no, you compromised. You made a decision to go do something else. But at the end of the day, it's just about having the resources at your disposal for you to live a better quality of life and be at your max capacity.
Hey, you'd be proud of William because I feel like right now he's getting into a nice squat, Schlegs, and he's really getting his butt down to the ground. It's a pretty unbelievable form he's got already.
Good shin angles. I can already tell. I mean, he probably gets that from you, Beam, as much as
he gets it. He gets it from Meredith. Of course.
Let's not kid ourselves. Of course he did. Now, the real question is, does he have the affinity for the Bears yet that you do? And no, how do we get him off that?
The only thing I think he has an affinity for is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and his dog. That's about it.
I love that. I love the pictures of those two together. They're awesome.
That's pretty tremendous, man. So, Schlegs, what are the plans? First of all, I know some of the folks hear this, but we've been talking to Coach Marotti, how hyped this is going to be at St. John's, June 21st.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. We've been trying to explain this to people. We had Joshua Perry talking about it, Lathan, all these different guys. You've talked about it on here. We're trying to make sure that folks understand how it's basically going to be like a real version of Monday Night Raw. I'm excited for this, and you got to be the champion of this event. I mean, you were the people's champion there. You're like John Cena in there with your jorts, walking around with boots on.
Oh my gosh! Hey man, I might have some jeans and boots on. It's a work day. I would say this: people think that they kind of know what goes on behind the scenes in the weight room. I love the fact that they don't post a lot because there is no secret sauce. It's all in the delivery, and it's all in the fact that the guys buy in and they love to compete. They freaking love training. I mean, that's a fact. We have hard workouts. And let's not forget, toughness is not just happens in November, man. It starts in January, goes through spring ball, it's in the summer. That's how you build a team, and you're going to be able to see some of that foundation as to what we do, why we do it, because Coach Mick's going to be there. You're emceeing it, explaining why we do what we do. And that's the behind-the-scene look that nobody else gets, and you get to see the way that people work. I don't think that, we just get to evaluate and look at guys on Saturday, but we don't ever really get to go behind the scenes and see what is required to be at the level at which they are. I have high school kids, and I'm like, bro, this is 10% of what I put these guys through. Now, the relationship is still there. Those things are still there and everything you're trying to get out of them. But, I mean, they are hard. And I think it's also very cool for people to witness the spotlights, the competitiveness, because that's something that Coach Mick, I think, is probably the best in the country at. And we've talked about this, Bob. How do you get guys that have second best options now? How do you get guys in this generation to want to go hard, right? The days of streaming and doing all that stuff, they're over. Can you still be intense? Can you still bring energy? 100%. But they're the ones that have to go hard. They got to be willing to allow you to take them to the depths in which they don't want to go. One way that you do that is through competitive excellence, because these are highly competitive dudes that don't like to lose, and it's on the line, and it's in front of their peers, so they're going to go really freaking hard, and that's something that nobody gets to see behind the scenes, and they'll be able to see it that night.
Love it.
It's a true one-of-a-kind experience. Friday, July 21st over at St. John Arena.
21st.
June 21st.
What did I say?
July.
You said July.
Well,
don't skip ahead.
On July 21st, too. We're just going to run it back because it was so good on June 21st. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Have a fantastic week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Appreciate you, man. Attack and dominate Columbus. Go Bucks, beat cancer.
There he was, Anthony Schlegel, with us last night via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Yeah, we all know spending money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. Usually the only reason you do it is because your energy bills are crushing you, or your current windows, well, they're all messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes, your eyes, everyone's eyes, they will be opened, because new windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen. They can change everything. I always say windows, they're the eyes of your house. Make them look beautiful. go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com. That's PellaColumbus.com.
One of the greatest careers of all time just came to a close. We'll do that in quick hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes across your interstates that we are watching, but we are starting to see traffic get busy on 33 westbound coming in from the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice here in the area for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. And I'm excited to tell you today about the opening of our second location here in Columbus. For me, having been raised here, it's like being back home. The response we've gotten from men here in Columbus has been incredible, and I want to thank so many of you for trusting us in addressing your ED and low T issues. Our goal is always to put patients first, and our highly skilled medical professionals are totally focused on men's sexual health. So if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, call us. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, you'll get your sex life back. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. Make your appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill, hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Rothman and Ice.
Yeah, you had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah. You got more lifelines. Phone a friend. Got more wiggle room. Phone a bag man. Hey, get on the phone. Now. We need more money.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Chaps. Do you know what happened this week last year? I became the new me. I reached my goal of losing 70 pounds with Awaken 180. Oh, yeah. 25 more pounds fell off in the meantime because I stuck with what I learned during my weight loss. I remember last May reaching for a pair of shorts as the weather started to heat up, and they just fell down. I needed all new clothes after my transformation. A good problem to have, especially after my 5-year streak of needing larger shorts each summer. That could be you. With Awaken 180, you could be fitting into last year's shorts by the 4th of July. No need to buy bigger sizes, and you may be getting a whole new wardrobe in a matter of months. Let's say it together. I won't buy bigger shorts. Schedule your at-home consultation today. Call the long-term solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Pick up the phone now and stop buying new shorts. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we'll see increasing clouds with a high around 72. There will be a pop-up shower or storm. As we head towards this afternoon, we're going low 70s for the highs. Tonight we get down to the mid-50s. It'll be chilly tomorrow. We're looking at highs only around 70. We'll have numerous showers. And then as we head towards Thursday, the sunshine returns. That's a look at your latest weather report on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
We here on the Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Sharky.
Yes.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday to you. Great to have you back, Beamer. Rafael Nadal has 14, count them, 14 men's singles titles at the French Open. It would have been hard to fathom him winning a 15th this year, given that Rafa isn't even seeded anymore, and he had to face the 4th seed in his opening match. The fans at Roland Garros tried to will him to a victory against Alexander Zverev, but he didn't give them much hope, even from the start. Nadal lost in straight sets, and at age 37, Bobby may have played his final French Open.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, the end of the era, you start watching when these guys take a step back, and I mean, Joker's kind of the only one left of the former big three, as we've watched Nadal now fade off, and it's just tough. It was tough, when you watch Pete do it a long time, about 20 years back, and as these guys age, like mortality, age, time, it's undefeated, and there's where we are now. He's been beat up. It's tough. The greatest clay player of all time, and it looks like his 14 is going to stay at 14 for the remainder of his life.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? I mean, you get old, he starts dealing with some injuries. They had that hip injury, too, that kind of derailed him for the last couple of years. And even up until a couple of weeks ago, didn't know if he was going to get back on the clay and get back at the French Open. But he gave it a go. I tip my cap to him on what is an unbelievable career. I have a hard time envisioning anybody matching that record. I mean, what he did at the French Open over the course of his illustrious career. So tip of the cap to him, man. One of the greats of all time. Unfortunately for him, going out in the first round of Roland Garros, though.
What a slacker, retiring at 37 like that.
Right?
Most of us go till at least 65. The most maligned umpire in Major League Baseball has had enough. Angel Hernandez, whom...
Oh, that was Joe West.
Many accused of being MLB's first blind umpire, has decided to retire immediately to avoid the continuous slings and arrows of players, managers, and fans. Hernandez was graded so poorly that he hasn't umpired a World Series game since 2005. But Beam, thanks to a strong umpires union, Hernandez lasted 34 years as a Major League umpire.
And the last time he actually umped a game was like at the beginning of the month, wasn't it?
May 9th.
Yeah, May 9th. So, I mean, it had been a while since he had been in action. Now, the great part for him is that, I mean, he signed this deal. He's still going to get paid out for whatever the remainder of his contract is. But, I mean, it became so much that I think baseball said, hey, buddy, listen here. You've been so bad. You've been so notorious. And everybody doesn't like you when you're on the games. Your ego is bloated. Why don't you just take a seat? Why don't you just take a step back and call it a retirement? So,
how old is he, Shark?
62.
There you go. He should have retired 15 years ago. He was never great. And the thing is, I don't know how you can be that bad. I mean, I do understand they have a players union or a umpires union, but it's the fact that he was continuing to get work when nobody wanted him to officiate their games, that's ridiculous.
They could not get rid of him.
You know, I would say that...
and he fought him every step of the way. He sued Major League Baseball in 2017. That was thrown out of court.
So I would say that social media is rather divisive. I don't think I've seen one piece of sports information and or news come out that everybody celebrated quite like they did yesterday. I think it was Ken Rosenthal who actually broke the story, and then Jeff Passan had it, seconds afterwards. And every comment that I was reading, everything that was going on Twitter yesterday was like, "See you later, sucker. Glad that you're never going to be back umpiring games.
Listen, maybe him and Joe West, they can go sing together. Hang out.
They record a
whatever
country
they do.
album again. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, Islands in the Stream. Nice duet for the two of them. 19-year-old Isam Asinga. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. He is one of the fastest human beings on planet Earth. The sprinter from Suriname holds the under-20 world record in the 100 meters, but that record has now been stripped. Asinga has been suspended since last August after testing positive for a banned performance-enhancing substance. He claims that his positive test came from eating recovery gummies. Anti-doping officials weren't buying it, and Bobby Isam has been banned from track and field for 4 years.
Like Isam's fables right there, Beam.
That's a long time for a 19-year-old to be banned,
You
too.
like that, Shark, didn't
Well,
you?
it's close to Aesop.
How many people do you think got that?
I doubt if Beamer did.
I don't get it.
I threw that out there just for you, Shark. Try to make sure everybody's entertained. 4 years, but it is incredibly punitive if you do get caught and you can't win on appeal. They want to try to keep the sport as clean as possible. It's incredibly hard. I mean, whether it's racing horses or racing humans, they find a way to juice them up. I'm a big proponent of just let them juice now. Let's see how fast we can get.
Well, you got that all juicers like World Cup coming up.
Let's
like
do
their version
that.
of the Olympics. Is that this year or next year?
Why
or
not?
The juicer games.
See how fast they are.
He said here, and this is the interesting part about it. He said, sadly in 2023, while I was still in high school, PepsiCo gave me a Gatorade gift package which contained Gatorade recovery gummies, displaying the industry-approved NSF certified for sport logo. The containers given to me were later tested at WADA, which is like the World Anti-Doping Agency, which identified that the product given to me was contaminated with a banned substance. So, I mean, again, when we start hearing these stories about where these substances come from, you don't know what's going on in your body.
Bobby Boucher's been telling us that water's been better since the 90s.
Hey, Bobby.
Don't drink the Gatorade.
Gatorade's better.
No.
Water sucks.
So great.
Captain's compliments of Captain Insano. You thought Jim Delaney and Kevin Warren were making a lot of money from the Big Ten? Wait until you hear about this guy. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're not tracking any crashes across your interstates, but we are starting to see busy traffic on 33 westbound over on the southeast side, also on 33 out in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
I'm Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. The crack of a bat, chorus of birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Let the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team keep you in tune with a spring AC checkup.
You're all set.
Schedule a visit today and stay cool all summer long. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Whether it's baseball season, basketball playoffs, or hockey playoffs, experience it live this spring with Vivid Seats. With one of the most reliable rewards programs in the business, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized with help from Beacon. I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark. The Shark Red starter Nick Lodolo came off the injured list and promptly gave up a Paul Goldschmidt home run in the first inning, but that was the only run he would allow in 5 1/3 innings, then the only run the Cardinals would score all day. Cincinnati got a solo homer from Jamer Candelario and an RBI single from Will Benson in a 3-1 victory. At Coors Field in Denver, the Guardians led the Rockies 4-1 and looked well on their way to a 10th straight win. But a botched double play grounder turned into a 6-run 4th inning for Colorado, which went on to beat Cleveland 8-6. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics have swept the Pacers in 4 games, clinching with a 105-102 victory last night in Indiana. In the NHL, Jason Robertson's hat trick helped the Stars beat the Oilers 5-3 in Edmonton. Dallas leads the Western Conference Finals 2-1. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon B., Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark coming up here 7:35. The great Tim May of Lettermen Row. He's going to digress us coming up here a little bit later on. If you missed Schlegs in the 6 o'clock hour, fear not. Going to re-air that for you coming up in about 1 hour's time around 8:05. Then Uncle Beau, he's going to round out the program with us as he does every single Tuesday coming up here at 8:35. So busy final couple hours for us here on a Tuesday.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
You can always hop on the live stream as well. Anywhere you get your streams at. I think we're on iHeart. Go to our website, download our app. Also hop on YouTube. Just type in 97.1 The Fan, subscribe. And you can watch us live every morning. You can even go back and rewatch shows if that's something that you're into. So download a podcast. All kinds of different ways for you to get us here in the morning as you get out and about into the summer months. Celtics 105, Pacers 102. Sharky just mentioned it right there in the update. 4-0 series sweep. Boston Celtics moving on to the NBA Finals.
Well, without Halliburton, it was kind of a foregone conclusion last night going into it. Indiana battled. I mean, they had a shot.
They battled the whole series.
They did, and they lost a lot of close games. If you felt like when they lost game 1, when they were up, 5 with 30 seconds left, I mean, they were 6. I mean, they gave that thing back. Last night they had a chance to win, gave it back in the final couple minutes. Without Halliburton, though, it was going to be a tough haul. And both of this series and the Western Conference Finals they've been very competitive, although kind of one-sided in the score in the final outcome. Most of the games have been pretty good. I think it was just game 2 in this when there was a blowout. All 3 of the games have been tight in the Western Conference Finals, but it looks like we're going to have a Mavs-Celtics Finals there, which will be interesting. Kyrie going back to the Garden. Can't wait. Sharks juiced.
Oh, my. Imagine what that's going to be like. It's not going to be.
Lots of booing.
Yeah, lots of booing for sure. So that game 4 is coming up tonight at 8:30 in the Western Conference Finals. Wolves and the Mavs game 4, 8:30 tonight this evening. And to your point, all these games, inside of the games have been good. The series, maybe not so much. Very different than the Nuggets-Mavs series. Or not the Nuggets-Mavs, the Nuggets-Wolves series, because all those games were blowouts, even though it went 7 games.
So
it was kind of back and forth. So that's going on in the NBA tonight. The weird part about this, Bob, I mean, if we do get a sweep this evening.
To wait, 10 days till the games?
You got to wait 8 days. So the finals isn't scheduled to begin until June 6th. That is next Thursday. That's on round number 1 of the Memorial Tournament. So they'll have 8 days off in between games, and I can't imagine that Adam Silver would be very happy about that, an 8-day layoff. So we'll see what happens in that. Stars 5, Oilers 3 last night. 2-1 series advantage now to Dallas. Rangers at the Panthers tonight at 8 o'clock. That is a 2-1 series advantage to Carolina. So last night we were hanging out. We didn't really do much yesterday. When William was down for his afternoon nap, we laid some mulch and did some yard work and everything. Then we went to a park a little bit later on, went to the grocery store, got stuff fired up for the grill. In the meantime, I was watching the NCAA men's golf tournament that was going on.
Oh, wow. Where'd you find that?
That was on the Golf Channel. Sharky, did you watch that yesterday?
I did, a part of it.
So your Ohio State Buckeyes.
How's old Neely doing?
Neil had a really nice birdie on 15. So Ohio State started the day. So the way that this works, Bob, there's 30 teams that play in this. So it's 72 holes of stroke play. The lowest individual score is crowned a national champion, individual national champion.
How do they do the team play?
So team play, you get 5 scores, or maybe 4. Your top
it's like
4.
Lowest aggregate?
Yeah, so they have, I think, 5 or 6 golfers out on the golf course, and your top 4 scores count for your team. Okay. So after 54 holes, they cut it down from 30 to 15. After the next 18 holes, they cut it down from 15 to 8. Ohio State finished 7th. So that's really good. They play later on this morning at 10:40. Now you're in full-on match play mode, 5v5. So they have,
okay, so that just gets you in.
That gets you in.
Okay, I didn't know if I thought that's how they just had the whole thing. No,
Yeah.
so now they're playing match play.
So now they're in match play, and they will take on Vanderbilt in the first round of match play. There's only 8 teams remaining. So the quarterfinals, which what they're in now, will be played today. And then the semifinals will be played later on this afternoon. So if they win that first match against Vanderbilt, I believe they're going to play the winner of North Carolina and Virginia. So if they win that, they're in the Final Four. If they win both of those, they're in the finals, and that's 36 holes of match play tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully they'll be able to TCB and take care of some business there.
For sure, man. Adam Wallen, he had the lead going into yesterday. In the end of different spelling. He had the lead. He finished at 1 under par. Actually finished in 8th place for the Buckeyes. It's the first Buckeye men's golfer to have a top 10 finish at NCAA since 1995.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost 30 years, babe.
And he shot a 4 over yesterday too.
Yeah, that's where are they playing that at?
They're out in California, Carlsbad. And that golf course was firm and fast and looked to be really tough.
You expected there to be all of those things. I mean, you're out in California, it's going to be dry and ready to rock. So good for those guys. We'll see what they can ultimately get done. Spring sports for the Buckeyes usually pretty good. For the tennis team, unfortunately, they weren't able to win another national championship.
They won a doubles national championship, though,
They won
right?
a doubles. Team, though, came up just a little bit shy, but the golf team played really well. Yep. It was in the semis?
I think so.
Yeah. So, unfortunate there, but hey, good for the Buckeye golf team, men's team getting it done.
I was texting Jay Mosley last night about it, the men's golf coach, who's super fired up. So,
did you have him on tee to green?
I didn't have him on tee to green because of the time difference. I probably could have, though. Maybe we'll have him on.
90% of it was recorded anyway, dude.
That is true. I did say that. I could have had him on. They left for California early in the week last week, so I wasn't able to track him down. But a good job by the Buckeyes. Hopefully today, 10:40 is when they start against Vanderbilt in the knockout rounds, kind of the match play. So it's just a best of 5 match play. You win 3, they win 2, you go on to the next round in match play. Former Big 12 Conference Commissioner Bob Bowlsby. Any idea how much he made for the 2022 calendar year? Because last week we were talking about Kevin Warren and then Jim Delaney, right? Those guys making like $3.5 to $5 million. Delaney was paid a consulting fee of like $400,000.
Yeah, why not?
Which is already a lot. I mean, it was a lot of money. Any idea of what Bob Bowlsby was paid?
After he was done, or
in his final year.
Oh, they probably had a nice little package for him on the way out the door, little golden parachute. Let's say, if you're telling me it's more, let's say $6 million.
Former Big 12 Conference Commissioner Bob Bowlsby was paid more than $17.2 million in total compensation for the 2022 calendar year. The conference said in a statement to USA Today Sports that $12.26 of his remaining contract was paid out in 2022, and another $3.337 million of vested interest was paid to him.
Stock options.
Oh, man. He worked as the conference commissioner for 10 years. The latter amount includes $2.6 million that had been reported by the conference as deferred compensation in prior year's tax filings. $17 million as a conference commissioner.
It's pretty good work if you can get it.
Not being in the Big Ten or the SEC.
Hey, I'll say this. He did a pretty good job of, given the fact that he lost Oklahoma and Texas, scraping that thing together and helping get it done and handing it off to Yormark in a decent setting. But $17 million, That is excessive to say the least. It's more or less a beating, man. That is brutal.
Yeah, that's a lot of cash you're having to give out.
Good for him. Like, at least he was smart enough to negotiate that.
And they're still alive as a conference, too. Like, I mean, they're not like the Pac-12. And there was real thought that there was going to be one that was going to disappear. And who is it going to be? Because the Big 12 for that looked like for a long time.
They're the youngest conference of all of them.
Looked like that they were going to go away.
Yeah.
And then the Pac-12 being the oldest ended up were the ones that were going away. I saw you tweet about this over the weekend, and this is fascinating. This comes from Dick Weiss. He does a great job, covers a lot of different things. Since speculation is circulating about potential shifts in college sports conferences, I just feel like we're not slowing down on this front at all.
Well, there's just so much uncertainty because you have two conferences that are sitting in a good spot, and maybe they could expand, maybe they won't, but they hold all the cards. And then the other two, it's a real Game of Thrones, chaos is a ladder type of situation.
Still, like ongoing.
Yeah, it's not settled. Florida State, because now you're able to play pay athletes up to $20 million at your school. Well, you've got to figure out where those $20 million are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's all well and good if you've got it. You've got a TV, like a fat TV contract.
Making $80, $90 million a year. That sounds great.
If you don't have that, that's a much, much different paradigm you're living in.
So there's discussion about Utah possibly moving to the ACC despite its recent move to the Big 12.
Yeah.
With some suggesting that ACC might be a better fit due to its ESPN network agreement and potential for increased TV value. However, skepticism exists regarding the stability and attractiveness of the ACC compared to the Big 12. And I know that you guys were talking a little bit about this yesterday in the ACC and the amount of money that they bring in and like kind of the rev share that was going on. I mean, it was up over 14.5% from last year, an average of $44.8 million to its football playing members. But you start to look, Bob, and the gap is only going to widen too because the ACC has locked itself in until when? 2036?
Yeah, until Shark's dead.
That's well, what is that? 64 Shark? It'd be 76. 76 with
That's
their team.
5 more years than Bill Walton, Shark.
So despite the record growth, the ACC remains behind the Big Ten. I mean, the Big Ten brought in $880 million. The SEC brought in $852. That's going to balloon even more when they actually get to their new TV contracts. And by the way, their new TV contracts expire before the ACC's current one does.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten into the new contract revenue yet.
Exactly.
And the ACC generated $700 million.
And they've got a lot of teams, a lot of mouths to feed. Here's the reality. If you take Florida State and Miami or Florida State and Clemson out of the ACC, what do you really have? Minus you strip out like a Miami and North Carolina.
Notre Dame and all the other sports.
Notre Dame isn't in. Yeah, exactly.
They just won a lacrosse national championship yesterday.
Listen, I watched a lot of I watched probably 2 or 3 Notre Dame lacrosse tournament games, but there's not 35 million people tuning in to watch that.
No.
So the property value is derived from football, and without football from Notre Dame in there, without Clemson football, without Florida State football, and maybe you lump in a Miami and North Carolina, whoever else is trying to escape, they realize that there's not a lot of value. Like Utah would then come in as their most valuable property, most likely.
Yeah.
Like they've got eyeballs that come to the games. They've got eyeballs that are watching on TV. I enjoy
watching. Fans. They pack the stands.
They have a good team that's nationally relevant. Like all of those things matter. They would be the best team. The best team. Like coming in.
Geographically, it doesn't make any sense for Utah to leave the Big 12 and go to the ACC.
I don't know. They'd get a chance to play Stanford and Cal.
God, I keep forgetting.
Their former Pac-12
keep forgetting
rivals.
that they're in the ACC.
Maybe swing by and play SMU on the way east.
That's a nice little 4-pack of games.
Well, people said that they're kind of like salty with BYU being in it too, and they want to have the state of Utah to themselves. And even though Utah is a superior program to BYU right now, that wasn't the case 30 years ago, but now it is. And Kyle Whittingham has that thing rolling. But there's worry that if they don't have any presence in California, will they be able to continue to recruit as a high level there in the Golden State? I don't know if that's true or not anymore.
Yeah, and so I feel like the Game of Thrones is never ending. Even though the Pac-12 is dead, we're just going to continue down this road of teams moving conferences. So I saw that over the weekend and thought that was pretty interesting. Hey, good news for Bengals fans over the weekend as they enter OTAs. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of Mound and 22nd Street. Other than that, your major Central Ohio interstates are looking nice and clear. It's starting to pick up on 33 over in the Plain City area and on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Right now during Ram season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $479 a month for 42 months with $4,279 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024.
Common Man and T-Bone.
I mean, it's got to know its limitations, man. You okay over there?
Yeah.
You need me to rub on it?
Oh, I need a rub.
You need me to suck on your toes?
You're damn right.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Low Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Low Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Low Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Tracking increasing clouds out there today. There will be a pop-up shower. It'll be windy just like yesterday. Today we're going 72 in Columbus. Tonight dropping down to the mid-50s. And then on your Wednesday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with numerous showers. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment around 7:35, the great Timmy May of Lettermen Row. He's going to digress us before we get into anything.
Oh, got out of my silo yesterday. Listened to Tim May a little bit with
Bakes.
Bakes, yeah. Rothman and Ice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
That sound right there. That means it's Tuesday, an appetizer Tuesday. And it means the featured appetizer Roosters. Well, it's just $3. And the final appetizer Tuesday in May is mac and cheese bites. They're delicious. They're Schleg's favorite. It's macaroni and cheese covered in crispy, crunchy cheddar coating, deep fried and served with sour cream. So good, you'll wish you were a kid again. It's the only way I know to eat mac and cheese with your hands and not get messy. They're delicious, and they're $3 all day long at Roosters. So go check them out, Beam. And you know what? About an hour from now, we're going to give away a $50 Roosters gift card. If you can play That's What He Said and answer our question right.
Absolutely. Make sure you're keen listening for what's going to happen. Might happen between the next hour or so. May have already happened, what we said. Who knows? But we are going to be giving away a $50 gift card over to Roosters. You and I were just talking about in the break. And again, we don't know any official news when this is coming out. Obviously, long weekend. But long time, I was reading this by The Athletic earlier on this weekend. Longtime Carolina Hurricanes general manager Don Waddell resigned from his role with the team. The Hurricanes announced on Friday he had received permission to speak to other teams. A league source told The Athletic's Pierre LeBrun last week. Waddell interviewed with the Columbus Blue Jackets about their GM position on Thursday. So there's one word tonight. This comes right from Pierre LeBrun. So there's word tonight that Don Waddell has permissions to speak from the Canes to other teams. His contract with Carolina is expiring. The Canes are to believe already have conversations with their new guy to come in. Let's see where this goes. And Porty tweeted about this too. Like, expectation is that at some point the Blue Jackets will announce him kind of as the leader of your hockey operations side now.
What do you think they're waiting for?
I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for.
He resigns, so they're not waiting on a contract buyout at least. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. He didn't get fired, and they were waiting on like a 5-year contract to expire with the Maple Leafs.
Instead of buying it out. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I mean, maybe he'll ask, maybe he's going through all the players' phones before he takes the job. Wants to see what's out there. Shark likes what I'm talking about.
That was still one of the craziest things that's like ever happened.
I don't know. Probably could have. The thing is, it is and it isn't.
Bob, it was in the brochure.
That's my point.
It was there.
Don't go to Seattle and then complain that it rained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it smells like weed.
Yeah. Well, it's all right there for you. Like you said, it's in the brochure. And then you got it and you got to it and you're like, well, wait, this isn't really what I wanted. Well, yeah, you wanted all the good stuff without any of the bad. You can't just get the good. That's not how it works.
Elliot Friedman said this. It was pretty clear when it got out last week that Waddell was interviewing in Columbus that it was going down that road, and it's going to get done. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look yet. We might have to wait to get a little bit of clarity on it. I just think the time ran out on the Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon-Don Waddell partnership. I would suspect that Waddell is going to be compensated higher in Columbus than he was in Carolina. I mean, look at the recent track record of success from Carolina. Like, it's been really good.
In the playoffs the last 5 years. Yeah. The last 4, they've at least won one round. I think 2 years ago, they're in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've built a good team in a non-traditional hockey market. That's why I look at like the challenges that you have in Columbus. They're going to be similar to the same challenges you had in Carolina. You're in Raleigh. It's not, a original 6. It's not a Canadian team.
Yep.
It's not something that's been
not like a traditional hockey market.
It's not been built into the DNA for the last 80 years, and you've managed to build a winner there. So please do that here. And then, he was president and GM there. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how this org structure shakes out with John Davidson, his involvement moving forward. Is it there? Is it not? Does he take a lesser role? How does this all ultimately look? Maybe he stays for a year or two to kind of ease the transition. I don't know. But I'm curious to see kind of how this goes. And then the next piece is, what's your coaching situation look like?
What's your coaching situation? What's your goalie situation? Because you still have the Elvis contract too. But I think the Pascal thing is way more kind of on the front burner.
Yeah.
For the organization, at least.
Oh, 100%. You got to figure that out because you've got dollars tied and allocated to that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But apparently it's I don't know if it's going to be today. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. But we'll be waiting on an official release for that. As it looks like
I'd say probably Friday at 5. Make sure that it's hitting the front page.
The 10 o'clock news on Friday night. Make sure that it's getting there. So if we hear anything else or see anything else, we'll for sure keep you up to date on that. Most teams started their OTAs last week. Bengals actually start theirs today. And here's good news for Bengals fans. You have a new offensive coordinator in town, Mike Pitcher, and he was explaining to Bengals.com about Joe Burrow and what's going to go on. And I think everybody's going to be excited to hear about this. If you're a Bengals fan, we designed the whole thing to stay within the constraints of where the medical people think he should be and where he wants to be right now. He also said nobody is sitting there with a special pitch counter. He also added that Joe Burrow currently has all of his range and power so that when OTAs get ramped up, he's going to be full go.
There we go. You like that, the height of his powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people anticipated that. You know, you never know for certain truly how it's going to respond, but it's good to see that things are trending in the right direction. You know, Joe's going to do everything he can to get back out there, and he's a tough guy. So we'll see how this shakes out, but I'm anticipating it going pretty well.
Yeah, I am too. And you look at Joe's career, you know, it's been great. It's been awesome down in Cincinnati. Obviously went to a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. The injury issues have been huge coming off of, you know, even going back to Ohio State, Bob, when he got beat out by Dwayne. Like, he's had some things. And since he's been in the NFL, he has not had a full offseason training regiment to go off of. When he first came into the league, it was COVID.
Yep.
And then he got hurt his first year. And then the year after that, he had his appendix taken out. Last year, he had the knee calf issue, knee issue, whatever it was when he was running around and pulled up lame. So it's critically important for the Bengals at this point of where they're at and trying to build towards a Super Bowl for Joe Burrow to get as many reps as physically possible.
You want to make sure you're getting that continuity, you're feeling good, and especially without, you know, T. Higgins there. You know, so you need some of your guys out there on offense. And as you get older, do you need all the OTAs? Well, I think with Joe, you still need some of that because there's the development that's still occurring because he hasn't had those off seasons like you were talking about, Beam.
He hasn't had that. And it seems like that situation kind of with Trey Hendrickson has kind of worked itself out for now as well.
It is what it is going forward. I mean, they get it. They understand his displeasure. He understands nothing's going to happen. And so you wait and see what next year is, but they have a team they believe is Super Bowl caliber ready, and I get it. I don't necessarily disagree with it. And they're the team that has had the most success against the big bully on the block, the Chiefs, the last couple of years.
Shark, who would you say that you're as the voice of Cleveland on the show, who would you say the Browns' biggest rivals are in the division?
Steelers.
You and Deshaun have something in common. Did you see this yesterday?
No.
He said he was asked about who their biggest rival is, the Browns. He said Cleveland, Pittsburgh for sure. It's even bigger than Cincinnati. It's not Baltimore. Baltimore's up there, but it ain't as real as Pittsburgh is. So you and Deshaun Watson have something in common. You both hate the Steelers.
And they both love massages.
The great Timmy May of Lettermen Row, that too. He's going to digress us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Watch for crews clearing up a crash at Mound and 22nd Street. Your interstates, though, looking nice and clear. Starting to pick up on 33 westbound out in the Plain City area. Also on I-71 near downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it almost heaven. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Hey there, friends. Beau Bishop here. I've been talking about High Bank Whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. This is the largest spirits competition in the world, and High Bank is dominating. And we've got the best. It's right here in town. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into their 2 restaurant locations in Gahanna and Grandview. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes snacks like Fritos and Doritos, candy like M&M's and Reese's, and ice cream like ours. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Right now during Jeep 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save. With a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Beamer and Shark love baseball. Bobby wants to murder Rob Manfred with his bare hands. See? A little something for everyone. This is Morning Juice.
There's a lot here. Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon V and Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Checking with our great friend, the great digressor of our time. He is from Lettermen Row. He is Tim May. Timmy, thanks so much for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Whirlwind. Last couple of days for you. I know you were filling in yesterday. You were hanging out with Bakes in the studio. How was Indy coming off of that, Tim? You've been covering that event for like 40 years.
It was long. It was a long day, but it was damn well worth it. I mean, you got to understand, everybody gets there media-wise between like 6 and 7 a.m. because you got to do that just to make sure you get a spot on the reserved parking spot. And then you sit there, and then like Kyle Larson said, in retrospect, it was a long day, and you were hoping it wasn't going to rain. And like he said, then you hoped it did rain a lot longer, but it didn't because, he didn't get to do his daily double like he had dreamed, but he did get to race at Indianapolis for the first time and did a hell of a job except for one pit stop when he sped. But that's another part of the story. But, it's a very long day, and you gear up for it every year. Pardon the pun.
That's pretty tremendous, Tim. I mean, you've been to so many, get geared up for them. I mean,
yeah.
Is there what keeps drawing you back there? I mean, to it after been covering that thing for 40 years.
The snake pit, is that what draws you back?
I'll tell you what draws me back is I don't understand somebody getting into a car that's that small. I mean, they are small. They are low built. Your head's about, when you're sitting in the car, your head's about, 3 feet maybe off the ground, and you're going in qualifying, they're hitting 240 miles an hour going into turn 3. In the race, they're hitting about 230. And just the least little thing, can upset you and send you spinning. They had 9 cautions the other day in that race, which was a lot, and not the record by any stretch. But I'm always compelled by the people that get into these things and opt to do it, and they're all manner of folks until they put the helmet on, and then they're all pretty much the same person, kind of not a maniac, but a nut. You know what I mean? And like Pato O'Ward was talking about after the race, he finished second, was devastated by finishing second because that's right up there with the most exciting Indy 500s I've covered the last 20 laps. But guys were taking chances, man, because as you found out last night, it's not just the fame and the glory. Also, it's the biggest paycheck you're ever going to win as a race car driver. I mean, Joseph Newgarden and his team won $4.5 million, and out of an $18.4 million purse, the largest ever. I guess that makes it worth it, but it's nutsy, Bob. It's kind of like what I've always marveled about football players. Why, average people don't play football. I mean, average thinking people. If you ever still on the sidelines at a football game, not played one like you do, but still on the sidelines, you wonder why are those guys doing that? Because they're different.
He is Timmy May with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Tim, I mean, not only have you been covering the Buckeyes for a long time and, Indy and what goes on over there, I mean, you've been covering sports for a long, long time, and you just had the settlement of the House case last week, and amateurism is dead, and now schools are going to be able to directly pay their athletes. I mean, if you put on your kind of prediction machine and shake up that Tim May magic 8-ball, what does the future look like to you as we kind of get into this new era of college athletics?
In some respects, it looks slightly clearer than it did a week ago before the settlement finally happened, because this is the first, I hate to use, I use cliches all the time, so I'll use it. This is the first domino that had to fall for the NCAA to understand that, and the NCAA, by the way, is the schools in the NCAA, not just this, like I keep telling you guys, not just this, this castle over in Indianapolis where guys sit and make edicts. But for the NCAA to understand that amateurism is dead. It has been since, for a while, but definitely since NIL came along. There are guys getting paid hefty sums to show up three times a year or something and promote a car dealership or something. So it was already dead, but now this is more of people sharing in what they really deserve to share in, which is the revenue that's generated by what they do, which is play football and men's basketball, and to a certain extent women's basketball. Of course, quite a few people have been sharing it. If you look at the administrative staffs around the country, at major colleges, but now the student athletes are. So that now the next thing to drop is going to be how does Title IX fit into this? From an equality standpoint, which really shook up sports way back in the late 70s, early 80s. And so that's what you need definition on before you can really figure out what player A, player B, player C are going to get in in football, men's basketball, and probably at least women's basketball, and maybe a couple other sports. So that's what you're waiting on. But at least now the sharing of the revenue that you help generate is deemed that's the law of the land, or the ruling of the land. Let's put it that way, and you've agreed to it. So But of course, Greg Sankey and I don't know about Tony Petitti, but they still want Congress to get involved. We'll see if Congress finally gets involved 3.5, 4 years later.
Well, and that's what they had said, Tim, is they were trying to go and show Congress that, hey, we're taking care, we're making amends for some of these back payments and everything else that's going on. They can take that to them, but I don't know if they understand how the United States legislative/judicial system works, because these rulings were coming down from the Supreme Court. They had nothing to do. So even an antitrust exemption would have to be approved, essentially, if it was challenged in court by the Supreme Court. And I don't know with where they're at right now, if given the fact that there's really no collective bargaining, that would work. And so the next step to me, I mean, I don't know if they need to be deemed employees, if you need a labor union, but some sort of working organization that can be on the other side of the table for this, that people can look at and say, hey, yeah, this is the way that it's going to be, and we're going to push back and forth when we're negotiating this number, because it's supposedly good for the next 10 years, but you know, as $20 million as the TV deals rise, I mean, that's going to be a fixed number apparently, and how does that ultimately look?
Yeah, exactly. How's that ultimately look? But how is it divvied?
Yeah,
that's also the thing. And then the other thing, Bob, is I don't know. You were a player, obviously. Everybody knows that. I've never thought, and I still think this. I was talking about this yesterday on the show. I'm actually talking about with Pete Nakos, from On3.com on the Tim May show this week. College sports, I don't think, no matter how you look at it, was ever meant to be a career. And although for a lot of players, the longest they'll get paid for playing football. Say that 3 times. Paid for playing football in their life is going to be when they're in college, not in the NFL, the few that do make the NFL. But I think the players need a voice, but I don't think they need I don't think it needs to go to a union situation, because, that definitely makes it a job. It is a job. We all know that. But, it's really an interesting thing. I think they need an advocacy group that argues that some group that's recognized by the NCAA, that it will be in the room when certain things are considered, for the good of the players, and will advocate certain things that are good for the players and stuff. But I don't think it's right that you need to join a union, to play college football or college basketball, because you may be there 3 years, you may be there 5, you may flunk out. Wait a minute, you can flunk out? That's got to be lost in the shuffle too. But it's just an interesting time we're living in, because like Beamer, led into it. What's it going to look like in 5 years? I'm not really sure. But this, players are now going to share in the revenue that they have generate. I think that's extremely important.
Buddy, before we get you out of here in about the last minute or so, what are your most pressing thoughts about the Buckeyes as we sit in here getting ready to turn the month to the page of June?
I think they've got players that can fit into that right guard spot and play very well. That was always my concern in the spring and in the winter and spring, is everybody's worried about quarterback. I think they have 2 guys, maybe 3, that can play quarterback big time. I'm probably including Julian Sayin in that, but he's obviously a freshman. But is Will Howard going to be the starter on the first day and the starter starting the first game and the starter in the 12th game? I'm not really sure. I think the competition is going to be on when the season starts. And as Ryan Day said, they're going to need 3 probably. So, of those 3, two have started exactly 1 game's total together. The other started over 20, Will Howard. So this idea that they don't know who their quarterback is, I think is folly. It's just naming the starter more than anything else. But I think they're sitting in pretty good shape for the 2024 season.
Timmy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the week, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Yeah, and by the way, tell Bobby that only goes back 10 years, not 2025, so those reparations don't reach to him.
See you, Timmy. Have a great day.
What a payday that could be. What a cookout you could have, brother.
That's true.
See you, fellas.
There he goes. Tim May, the best. Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're still watching crews clear up a crash at Mound and 22nd Street. Out on your Central Ohio interstates, we are crash-free. Watching busy traffic in the westbound lanes of 33 out in Plain City. Also on I-71 as you come into downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Staggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Right now during cheap 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires at AAA Car Care Plus. Not a member? Not a problem. Everyone can save up to $150 on Vredestein tires through May 31st at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Take action with Logan Services. Save up to $2,700 on a qualifying train system. Find us online to book your free estimate now. We make home comfort easy. Logan Services.
Bishop and Friends.
They used it as a rallying point and it worked for them. And
so you're saying they leaked themselves? That wouldn't be the weirdest thing he's ever done.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we'll see increasing clouds with a high around 72. There will be a pop-up shower or storm. As we head towards this afternoon, we're going low 70s for the highs. Tonight we get down to the mid-50s. It'll be chilly tomorrow. We're looking at highs only around 70. We'll have numerous showers, and then as we head towards Thursday, the sunshine returns. That's a look at your latest weather report on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
We're here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky? Yes. It's a Tuesday. I need my daily dose of Schlegs.
I'm one of those people like, Steph, listen, man, if that's me, I was like, take me out, drop me off in a national park for 7 days with a 30-30, and if I come back to that spot like in 7 days later, I'm good to go for another 10.
You know, when I was with your retirement, Shark.
Yes.
You love those national parks.
I do. I don't know if I want to hang out for 7 days.
Maybe just a rest stop.
By myself with a knife and a pistol.
I don't think the pistol was included. I think it was just the knife.
It was just a knife. Yeah. When I was a kid, I hated UCLA. Everybody hated UCLA. All my friends, we hated UCLA because they won the championship every year. Although I will say this, we used to practice Lou Alcindor's skyhook in the driveway. And the announcer at Pauley Pavilion would introduce him as Lou Alcindor.
So as if Cinder was his last name and Lou was his first?
For a couple of years, I thought his name was Lou not Lou Alcindor. Anyway, when Bill Walton came along, we hated him even more because, they won every single game, not just championships. They won 88 straight games. I didn't really appreciate Bill Walton until about his fourth year in the NBA. Of course, he was hurt every year, first 3 years, so he didn't play much. And then his fourth year, he led the Trailblazers to the NBA championship. And then the following year, he won MVP, even though he only played the first 50 games, got hurt and missed the playoffs and everything. So he wouldn't even be eligible for that award today. But anyway, I fully expected to come in here this morning and start cutting up Bill Walton, like a montage of Bill Walton. Instead, ESPN did it for me.
That sun comes up every day, and my approach, what can I do to make things better for as many people as possible? Being a very shy young man and very reserved, sports gave me an outlet. A place where I could run around and yell and scream and not be chastised. But sports was always something that, with enthusiasm and emotion, I could let my personality out and be very free on the basketball court. When Coach Wooden actually started calling and coming around, that was a dream come true. Because from the first time I ever saw UCLA play basketball to everything I ever knew about John Wooden, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I grew up in an environment where I was encouraged by my parents and by my coaches to question authority, to think for myself and to have an opinion. My decision to leave the Portland Trailblazers was the toughest decision I've ever had to make in my life because that was my team and I love those guys. But the breakdown in trust in what makes a team work had been so complete. I'm not into being remembered. I learned from yesterday. I dream about tomorrow. But I try to make today my masterpiece. I tried my best to be better, to do better, and to do more. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
So that had me juiced, Bob. As Dave Pash said, Bill Walton was one of one. There was nobody in the world like him.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the most unique and individual guys you'll ever meet and did a great job. Always made games entertaining to listen to say the least. Yesterday was Memorial Day, and I ran across this great little clip. by Jason Redmond, former Navy SEAL.
I have a lot of friends who are fellow veterans who get all upset because there's a focus on Memorial Day, like, hey, barbecues and pool parties and travel and vacation and all these different things, sales, Memorial Day sales. I have a little bit of a different viewpoint. I'm like, hey, man, enjoy all those things. I mean, I can't speak to every veteran, but for myself, I sacrificed and went and fought overseas against evil people so that my kids and my grandkids and anybody else in America that maybe, you know, had not gone and fought could have those freedom and opportunities. So they could have those barbecues, so they could have those pool parties, so that, you know, Home Depot could have a blowout sale. So all I ask, while you're enjoying those barbecues, while you're going to Home Depot and you're getting that new grill, take a couple of minutes and find someone. If you don't personally know someone who fell in war or who died in military service, go find someone. There's lots of websites that'll talk about amazing, heroic Americans. Read about them. Think about them. Talk to your kids and your grandkids about them and just say, you know what? We're going to go have our pool party. We're going to have our barbecue. But this man or woman right here enabled us to have this, and we should never forget that.
And that has me juiced here on this wonderful Tuesday post-Memorial Day beam. What's got you juiced, sir?
Yeah, what's got me juiced, Sharky, it was good, Bill Walton talking about, his upbringing and all that stuff and what involved in the game of basketball. But in the great calls of Bill Walton in basketball games where 95% of the time he wasn't talking about basketball, I think my favorite was when Pash, like it was Bill Walton's birthday, and Pash gives him a cupcake. And he goes like, yeah, we got that for you, Bill. And he goes, oh, great. And I mean, the candle is lit on it. And he just eats the entire thing with the lit candle. And Pash is like losing his mind laughing. So that was pretty unbelievable. But also one of my favorites is, so his broadcasting partner, Jason Benetti, later on, he actually teamed up with Jason Benetti. And I think they were doing, because Benetti was the White Sox play-by-play guy. And they were out in Los Angeles, and I think they were doing an Angels game, and they invited Bill Walton up to the booth, and here's how that sounded.
When they bring that high, hard one in, I stand in and lean back, and then just bam, and it sails away out through the universe like a radio wave that goes past Saturn and Jupiter, Pluto, through the black hole, and into many other galaxies yet named.
Like that is vintage Bill Walton.
It is.
Vintage Bill Walton. So got that news yesterday and was super sad about that, man. I always enjoyed watching him, and his 30 for 30 documentary is really good too. So I was watching that a couple of years ago, and I'm like, kind of gives you a peek behind the curtain of what he's all about and how he was raised. And the man loved the Grateful Dead more than just about anybody. I think he went to over 1,000 Dead shows in his life. So rest in peace to Bill Walton. Schlegel is going to reappear with us coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're watching crews clear up a crash at Mound and 22nd Street. Avoid that area if you can. Your Central Ohio interstates, though, looking nice and clear. Watching busy traffic on I-71 near Polaris and on 33 out in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. 1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Bart Bishark. The Guardians' longest winning streak in 7 years ended yesterday in Denver. Charlie Blackmon's 3-run homer capped a 6-run fourth inning for the Rockies, which turned a 4-1 deficit into a 7-4 lead. Colorado went on to beat Cleveland 8-6, snapping the Guards' 9-game winning streak. The Reds have their first 4-game winning streak of the season. After sweeping the Dodgers, they came right back and beat the Cardinals 3-1 in Cincinnati. Nick Lodolo came off the injured list and pitched 5 1/3 innings to up his record to 4-2. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics led for a total of 58 seconds the entire second half. But they led for the final 45 seconds and came away with a 105-102 victory over the Pacers in Indiana. That gave Boston a 4-game sweep and a 23rd trip to the NBA Finals. In the NHL, Jason Robertson's hat trick helped the Stars beat the Oilers 5-3 in Edmonton. Dallas leads the Western Conference Finals 2-1. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 3 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark coming up here momentarily. Schlegel is going to reappear. Had a chance of talking with him last night. And then Uncle Beau, he's going to round out the program with us as he does every single Tuesday around 8:35 here in about 35 minutes or so.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
If you miss anything on the program, you can always download our podcast wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Also go back and rewatch the YouTube show because we're now live on the YouTube.
Stream is so thick and frothy, babe.
It really is. All kinds of different streams, too.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere you want. NBA playoffs last night. Sharky mentioned it there in the update. Celtics 4, Pacers nothing. A series sweep of Boston. I feel like as soon as that game number 1 went Boston's way at the end, Celtics were leading or down by 5 with 9 seconds left or something crazy. As soon as they came back from that, it was always going to be tough for the Pacers. Gave them hell though. I mean, gave the Celtics hell.
5-point lead with 3 points to go last night.
Yeah, I know. They gave them hell and they just unfortunately couldn't win a game. So Pacers move on to the NBA Finals. They start on June 6th, by the way. So we'll see what happens coming up in tonight's Western Conference Finals because you get the Wolves at the Mavs at 8:30 tonight. If the Mavs dispatch the Wolves in 4 games, I mean, you're going to have 8 days' time before they get the finals underway. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs last night. Stars 5, Oilers 3. 2-1 series lead in Dallas in that one. Rangers at the Panthers, game number 4 tonight. Rangers up 2-1 in that one. Ohio State men's golf, big day for them. So they navigated the stroke play portion of the NCAA championship.
That's Shark's favorite way to do it.
Stroke? Yeah, sure it is. So it starts off with 30 teams. After 54 holes, there's a cut. So it goes from 30 to 15 teams. Then they play 18 holes after that. The top 8 after 72 holes get into match play. Buckeyes are now the 7th seed. They will take on Vanderbilt here later on this morning around 10:40. Straight up 5v5 match play.
Checked out the FanDuel odds on that one, Beam?
I haven't checked out the FanDuel odds. I'll give it a look at the break, or I'll just create them. I'll just make them up on the fly.
I don't know if you can get any action on that yet.
They've only made match plays once, one time. Their latest one was, I want to say, back in like the mid-2000s or 2010 or something like that. So it's a big day for those boys today, 10:40. And then Adam Walton, big congrats to him. He fired a 1 under par, good for top 10 finish in the individual. Finished in 8th. First Buckeye top 10 individually in NCAA since 1995. So,
okay.
Good job by the Buckeyes today. Again, match play straight up against Vanderbilt coming up at 10:40. Got to check in with this guy. Not today, not early this morning, but we did have a chance to talk to him last night.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
Heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline check with our good friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. How was your Memorial Day, all right?
Happy Tuesday, Columbus. Don't forget, free is never free. Those men and women pay the ultimate price. And as you're celebrating with your families, like I was watching baseball or at the farm, it's like you can never forget that. So, yeah, man, Tuesday, here we go. Big weekend packed with summer baseball has now started. Did a lot of work at the shop, getting ready for the week. Armory kicking off, doing some things. We got cold plunges in, Bob.
Ooh.
And an infrared bed, like stuff slowly matriculating in the building. It's really fun. Gonna be launching those things pretty soon. So, yeah, man, if you're a Shield member, let's get it on. But
yeah,
what a great weekend. Hunter had his first wood bat home run, so that was pretty cool. And of course, Dad doesn't know about the old Twitter machine when it comes to the recruiting process, and you gotta film everything. And of course, I didn't film that. That was the one. So I apologize to him.
You should. I mean, that's kind of a subpar performance from you, Schlegs. It's all right, though. So we got the cold plunges in there. That sounds pretty unbelievable. Are these single-use cold plunges? Or is this dude-on-dude cold plunges in there like we used to do, age stacked in?
I don't think why you and I cannot try that, Bob. I'm sure you can. I mean, who's going to be the ones that legs are in the middle? Those are the questions that you got to – are you going to put the legs to the side? Somebody's going to go right down the middle, somebody's going to go outside? How is that going to work? But no, there's single person, there's 4. Actually, what I did was there's 2 of them that are hot and 2 that are cold. So if you did want a contrast, you can. If you want to do hot, you can. If you want to do just the cold plunge, you can. And then if we want to make the entire room a plunge, you can. So that's great. And then the infrared bed, we just picked that up. I still have a really good relationship with the Air Force Research Lab, and they're like, this is the best one to get. So I said, charge it to winning.
What's an infrared bed?
Photobiomodulation. I mean, this bed's crazy, but infrared just helps repair your cells. I like to do it. It actually gives me energy before the day. If I could do it the very beginning, before a workout, it'd be fantastic. But I'll say this, of all the modalities when I was in Jacksonville that were utilized from a recovery room per se, that bed was used 850 times over 6 months. I mean, guys would do it pre-game. There's a lot of things I'm not going to get into the weeds of it, but it's just a really good recovery modality that we now have available to our Shield members. So the biggest thing when it comes to, whether it's medical fitness or recovery is educating people. And that's what we're really trying to do.
It sounds amazing, Schlegs. So basically what you're telling me is if I go to the Armory, become a Shield member, I'm going to be like Tom Cruise between the cold plunges, infrared sauna, cellular repair. You need to call that the vampire room, where you go in there.
I love you. Well, I mean, like us, Bob. I mean, we're like Benjamin Button over here, reverse aging in and of itself. And part of that is to have a proactive, healthy lifestyle. And use these things. And the one thing that people always forget when it comes to all of these things is that sleep is the number one recovery. It's so funny. We always try to, I think I touched on this a couple weeks ago. We all look for things to do that aren't hard, and the hardest thing is having discipline to go to sleep, having discipline to have a diet. These things are great. These other modalities are great. They're part of the routine that you build in, right? I created a whole menu for our guys. Besides sleep, eat, hydrate, what do you do during the week to make sure you're at your max capacity? these are some of those modalities. But yeah, reverse aging, Bob, why not? I just like the way it makes me feel. It does things for me. So I use it. It's probably my number one favorite go-to. But yeah, I mean, reverse aging, why not? Just call it the reverse aging room, the vampire room.
Have you used those float pods?
black?
I know that Bob says like 15 minutes of sleep, and that's like 8 hours.
And you know what? Here's the other thing too. Like, let's go. You said infrared sauna. Like, anytime people try to combine modalities, you don't get the full dose of the modality. Let's just face it. Okay, so infrared sauna, my opinion, terrible. But float pods, right? So now you have wet float, you have dry float. Think about this. What are you doing while you're in there? You're lying what? That's what the H ends in a horizontal. Right? That's recovery, right? You go put them, if you're a shield member at the armory, boom, go check out the Normatex. Guess what? You're in a chair, you're horizontal. Everything goes back to one thing, and that's sleep, right? So, yeah, there's great qualities of the infrared bed, but you're laying horizontal. The Normatex, you're horizontal. The float beds, you're horizontal. Like, there's a wellness cocoon we had because Trevor Lawrence liked that. Great. I don't care. Go recover your face off in there. Awesome. Right? Guess what? You're horizontal. So whatever it takes you to get there, it's awesome. But I will say float pods for central nervous system activation, fantastic.
That's tremendous, dude. I love where we're at with this, Schlegs. All the science that's getting involved. You're taking this thing to the next level. Spreadsheets.
All right.
How do we log this? Any great spreadsheet, any great strength coach, Schlegs, is a master of Excel. We've learned this now.
So true. I know that you know this. You've seen our guys, God bless them, that are in there hacking away at these Excel spreadsheets. Here's the thing when it comes to sports science. Sports science to me, like the sciences to me, but sports science in particular, it is like finance to business. It validates that sales, operations, and marketing work. That's all. That's all it is, right? You still got to go have a great program. You still got to go coach the crap out of people. Yeah, it's great that you get objective data as to actually where somebody is. And more importantly, you get to look at the weaknesses that they have, whether it's asymmetrical or they're weak in different parts of their body, and put them into a bucket to where you can improve weaknesses. Louis Simmons at Westside Barbell, what do you say? Weak things break. So if I know what is weak, I can then have a plan to fix it. But again, it goes back to consistent work wins. And I think that's something that all people forget about, man. Those daily habits, what is it that you require to be at your max capacity? And then guess what? Go do those things. And about like you and I, we got kids, Beam, you got a little one, but like, you have to be super disciplined in a lot of different areas of your life. And you know what, though? If you decide not to be disciplined that day, you got to charge it to win it and say, but you can't look at the mirror and say, well, why am I like this? Like, no, you compromised. You made a decision to go do something else. But at the end of the day, it's just about having the resources at your disposal for you to live a better quality of life and be at your max capacity.
Hey, you'd be proud of William because I feel like right now, he's getting into a nice squat, Schlegs, and he's really getting his butt down to the ground. It's a pretty unbelievable form he's got already.
Good shin angles. I can already tell. I mean, he probably gets that from you, Beam, as much as
he gets it. He gets it from Meredith. Of course.
Let's not kid ourselves. Of course he did. Now, the real question is, does he have the affinity for the Bears yet that you do? And if so, how do we get him off that?
The only thing I think he has an affinity for is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and his dog. That's about it.
I love that. I love the pictures of those two together. They're awesome.
That's pretty tremendous, man. So, Schlegs, what are the plans? First of all, I know some of the folks hear this, but we've been talking to Coach Marotti, how hyped this is going to be at St. John's, June 21st. 5 o'clock. We've been trying to explain this to people. We had Joshua Perry talking about it, Lathan, all these different guys. You've talked about it on here. We're trying to make sure the folks understand how it's basically going to be like a real version of Monday Night Raw. I'm excited for this, and you got to be the champion of this event. I mean, you were the people's champion there. You're like John Cena in there with your jorts, walking around with boots on.
Oh my gosh! Hey man, I might have some jeans and boots on. It's a work day. I would say this. People think that they kind of know what goes on behind the scenes in the weight room. I love the fact that they don't post a lot because there is no secret sauce. It's all in the delivery, and it's all in the fact that the guys buy in, and they love to compete. They freaking love training. I mean, that's a fact. We have hard workouts, and let's not forget, toughness is not just happens in November, man. It starts in January, goes through spring ball, it's in the summer. That's how you build a team, and you're going to be able to see some of that foundation as to what we do, why we do it, because Coach Mick's going to be there. You're emceeing it.
explaining why we do what we do. And that's the behind-the-scene look that nobody else gets. And you get to see the way that people work. I don't think that, we just get to evaluate and look at guys on Saturday, but we don't ever really get to go behind the scenes and see what is required to be at the level at which they are. I have high school kids, and I'm like, bro, this is 10% of what I put these guys through. Now, the relationship is still there. Those things are still there and everything you're trying to get out of them. But, they are hard. And I think it's also very cool for people to witness the spotlights, the competitiveness, because that's something that Coach Nick, I think, is probably the best in the country at. And we've talked about this, Bob. How do you get guys that have second best options now? How do you get guys in this generation to want to go hard, right? The days of streaming and doing all that stuff, they're over. Can you still be intense? Can you still bring energy? 100%. But they're the ones that have to go hard. They got to be willing to allow you to take them to the depths in which they don't want to go. One way that you do that is through competitive excellence, because these are highly competitive dudes that don't like to lose, and it's on the line, and it's in front of their peers, so they're going to go really freaking hard, and that's something that nobody gets to see behind the scenes, and they'll be able to see it that night.
Love it.
It's a true one-of-a-kind experience. Friday, July 21st over at St. John Arena.
21st.
June 21st.
What'd I say?
July.
You said July.
Well,
don't
make
skip
it happen
ahead.
on July 21st, too. We're just going to run it back because it was so good on June 21st. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Have a fantastic week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Appreciate you, man. Attack and dominate Columbus. Go Bucks, beat cancer.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel on with us last night via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. It could finally be the week to find out what the Jackets are doing with their general manager. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Tuesday to you. Right now, we're watching some slowdowns on I-270 southbound up near Dublin Granville Road as police work to clear out an incident. Other than that, the rest of your Central Ohio roadways looking very clear. I-71 picking up into downtown and 33 westbound on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes drinks like Coke and Sprite, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Generation Radio, classic hits, original artists. Saturday, June 15th, the Columbus Commons. Join Jay DeMarcus of Rascal Flatts, Jason Shepp of Chicago, and Steve Barone of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers as they bring you the biggest classic hits of all time. Live on stage, the hits of Rascal Flatts, Chicago, and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and more. Generation Radio with the Columbus Symphony. Tickets on sale now at C-Bus Arts Ticket Center or picnicwiththepops.com. Presented by Nationwide Picnic with the Pops. With spring ball behind us, we're officially gearing up for the most anticipated football season ever. Excited, nervous, terrified to your very core? Think of us as your emotional safe space. Always your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey. That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick. What's going on? Rick asked me to keep it secret
But he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct, too.
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Glow Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Tracking increasing clouds out there today. There will be a pop-up shower. It'll be windy just like yesterday. Today we're going 72 in Columbus. Tonight dropping down to the mid-50s. And then on your Wednesday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with numerous showers. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer is tweeting about Formula One.
Oh, hells yes.
Bobby is tweeting Rick Springfield concert video. Both are a cry for help.
Just as one twisted mother.
This is Morning Juice.
Coming up in our next segment around 8:35, Uncle Beau, he's going to join the program. Who knows what we're going to talk about with him, but he's going to join the program, like I said, around 8:35 here in just a few minutes' time. Before we get into anything else.
Oh, boy. That sound means it's Tuesday. That means it's an appetizer Tuesday. How about that? And today's featured appetizer is $3 all day long. It's a Threes Day, and it is mac and cheese bites. Schleg's favorite. They're delicious. They're tasty. Go check them out for $3 all day long. Now you get a chance, Beam, to win a $50 gift card. If you can answer the question, that's what he said.
614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the answer into Shark. You'll be walking away with a $50 gift card to Roosters. All the way back, top of the 6 o'clock hour, we were talking about, we do Today in History. We do birthdays. We do historical events and stuff that come down. We had a significant birthday of a former mayor of a large metropolitan area that smoked crack cocaine. What is that gentleman's name? 614-821-9710. Get it into Shark. You'll be walking away with a $50 gift card to Roosters.
Best mayor around.
It really was one of the best cuts, I think, that Shark ever got.
Yeah. When I saw it was his birthday today, I was fired up. He's the mayor that I think we all need.
Should we take a listen to it again?
Yeah, we can probably do that.
Yeah, Shark's on the phone right now. I think we've got a winner.
He's
Shark,
right
just nod your
somewhere.
head. Do we have a winner over there?
He's
yeah.
not.
Okay. Yeah, we got a winner. Okay, well, let's take a listen then, shall we?
There has been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine. I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine. Can you get off my driveway, please? Can you get off my driveway? Can you get off my property, please? Don't get off my property!
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine. Am I an addict? No. Have I tried it? Probably in one of my drunken stupors, probably approximately about a year ago. With today's announcement, I know I embarrassed everyone in the city. I was elected to do a job, and that's exactly what I'm going to continue doing.
That and smoking crack. The best part is he said, yes, I did. Well, I probably did in one of my drunken stupors. I really couldn't testify to the fact that maybe I did or didn't. But I think so. People told me I did. There's actually, you know what? There's pictures of me doing it.
There's evidence. There's evidence out there.
I loved
we open up. No, I didn't do it.
He was like...
20 seconds later, I did.
If Matt Foley became the mayor... I mean, in Toronto, what'd you say, 6 million people, 7 million? It's a major metro.
Yeah, I want to say like in like the metro area, it's like 5.995 million. Like
it's the biggest country in Canada, or biggest city in Canada. So got that going for him. I did do some research, Beam. I did find out that Nate Walton, one of Bill's other sons, played at Princeton.
Okay. Because Luke, obviously very successful.
Yeah, he played at Arizona and then, coached in the NBA, played in the NBA, coached in the NBA. But, yeah, I was like, he had 4 boys. But the other ones had to play basketball, didn't they? At some point, some level? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'm out of my mind.
It's good to know that he did have another one that did play. But, yeah, I mean, Luke was the only one that kind of came to my mind when I was thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know if his other sons played basketball. You would be proud of me this weekend. I'm trying to go through movies I've never seen before. We did A Beautiful Mind this weekend. I'd never seen it before with Russell.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never seen it. Never done it before.
It's pretty good.
It was really good.
He's out there documenting the pigeons up on the window.
Yeah, for sure.
John Nash.
And I didn't know that he actually like had schizophrenia. I just didn't.
No, he didn't have schizophrenia.
Yeah, sure he did.
No, he still has buddies he had. He's hanging out. It's the one dude from Knight's Tale. He's so great.
I'm telling you, man.
He plays old boy in Marvel, too. He's fantastic.
I'm telling you. So the first time I saw Fight Club like 10 years after it originally came out. And the first rule about Fight Club, never talk about Fight Club. I didn't 100%. Know what went on in the movie. I just thought it was Brad Pitt, Ed Norton fighting dudes. And then you go on to find out that it's a secret society. Then they start making bombs and all these kinds of different crazy stuff. So like that was kept a secret to me. I mean, this was a motion picture which was made a long time ago. I had never watched it before, and then we started getting into the talks about, okay, well now we're going to go in and he's like a CIA, FBI operative, all these crazy stuff going on. Like I had no idea how that movie was going to turn out. I had no idea about his life.
You know what else I watched for the first time? Hall Pass, which was pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Is that Owen Wilson?
Yeah, Owen Wilson and Sudeikis.
Yeah.
It was good.
When they're sitting at like the Applebee's.
Oh.
When they're sitting at the Applebee's talking about like all the kind of crazy stuff they're going to get into.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's shut it down. I've had too many beers. I got a little bit of heartburn, some indigestion going on. Maybe let's get back into this tomorrow. Either that or when they eat the pot brownie on the golf course is also really good.
I said Jack Black should have played as one friend. That character would have been great. The dude that took a dump in the sand trap.
Yeah.
That was pretty tremendous. It's a really good movie, though. So we followed that up with watching the Tom Brady roast again, intermittently watching some of the Rangers and Panthers doing our best Jackets, former Jackets watches with Wenny and Artemi, and then Bob, who got beat up in that game. Gosh, 5-4, a lot of goals being scored. But that's what we did on Sunday, Beam. It was good. I had never seen Hall Pass. I'd seen a lot of clips of it before.
It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was very underrated. Very underrated.
Jenna Fisher's in that, isn't she?
Jenna Fisher, Christina Applegate. Yeah. It's good. It's a winner.
Falls in love with that baseball coach during like the summer league season.
Oh, yeah. Look at you.
I have fond memories of that movie. Tyler from Columbus, he's the winner of our $50 Roosters gift card. It'd be Rob Ford's birthday, so shout out to him. Before he passed away a long time ago, like 2016. So I saw this over the weekend. This coming from Pierre LeBrun. Longtime Carolina Hurricanes general manager Don Waddell resigned from his role with the team. The Hurricanes announced on Friday he'd also received permission to speak to other teams. A league source told the Athletic's Pierre LeBrun on Thursday. Waddell interviewed with the Blue Jackets about their open position that is here. Waddell resigned for his post after 10 years. Elliot Friedman then went on to say, it's pretty clear when it got out last week that Waddell was interviewing in Columbus that it was going to go down that road. And it's going to get done. I'm not exactly sure how all this is going to look yet, and we might not get clarity for a little bit of time. I just think that the time ran out between the ownership partnership and Don Waddell. I would expect that Waddell's going to be compensated higher in Columbus than he was in Carolina.
Man, a pay raise up here for the Jackets. You look at what Carolina's done during his tenure there. They've been pretty good the last 5 years, playoff team. You know, made to a conference finals in there as well. Have had a lot of success. It'll be interesting to see how this org structure shakes out.
Yeah.
You know, with John Davidson there.
Because he's the president.
Fact that, Waddell was the president and GM, John Davidson being, in that president role. So how that's going to look and whether he stays on, what Waddell assumes, if there's some sort of transition. There's a lot of different options at this point because they got to get to that. And then you mentioned Beam earlier. They've got to then figure out coach/goaltender and what that's going to look like moving forward.
For sure. So keep an eye on that. If anything breaks between now and the end of the show, we will fill you in, but it looks like that might be getting done. Uncle Beau, he's going to join us coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, no major crashes to let you know about. We are seeing busy traffic on 33 out in the Dublin Plain City area. Also on I-71 as you come into downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Your roof took a beating from winter storms, spring rain, and sun damage. Call Legacy Roofing Services before that crack or seam becomes a major leak, costing thousands of dollars. Call Legacy today, 800-880-ROOF, 800-880-ROOF. Legacy Roofing Services.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
How can you reach your weight loss goals by the 4th? Simple. Make a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Bacon's on the table. Burgers, lobsters, you name it. Don't sacrifice the summer avoiding what you love. Make a Bacon 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Memorial is coming, and we'll be there, and you'll be there, and we'll all be, you get the point. The Fan is broadcasting live from the Memorial.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One.
The Fan.
Have you heard? There's always more at Speedway, like a Big Bite hot dog and Big Gulp drink for only $2.50. We've got what you're in the mood for, and now you can get more with less. Get your big meal deal for only $2.50 with Speedy Rewards. Valid through 1/7/25. Speedway has the right to end this promotion early, plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms. All rights reserved.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Because comfort keeps us going. So grab your family, your friends, and your Wrangler layers for some fresh air adventures together. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. And at this time, every Tuesday, we get to check in with our most favorite of uncles. If I can even find the soundboard right here. I messed it up.
Beau knows bourbon. Beau knows fashion. Beau knows horseback riding. But most importantly, Beau knows Browns.
Sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
What's up, Hunk? Happy Tuesday to you. How's the weekend?
Oh, locked and loaded. So much. You know what these kids are doing now? NBC, 3 days left of 6th grade, and they've all got phones at this age, and Bob, you know this. And so what they do is they will text females, and they will say, or females will text them, and they will say, "Hey, do you like me? I think I like you. I think we should go out." And then if the answer is no, then they say, "Oh, that was a prank. Such and such did it." And so when there is like a real one that comes through, then you have to like decipher, is this a real is this the real girl on the other line that I'm talking to or not? And then, so like Beam asked me about like the weekend, like he had like 2 sleepovers, which means he didn't sleep. So he's just a jerk all weekend. And so what they do is they steal their phones and then text girls from their phones and act like themselves. And then the girl on the other end has to decipher, well, is this him or is this one of his dipstick buddies? Oh, no. I mean, it's a mess. See, it's a mess navigating this.
We used to do that with AIM. And before that, ICQ, like we'd get on there, the little chat.
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is.
They're chat deals, and you would have like your name and log into a desktop computer, and you would converse there, and like independently. I guess you could have group ones too, but then you could have single messages back and forth. And then like during sleepovers, people would fall asleep, they'd leave their computer open, and you get in there and do some.
Put up a funny away message.
Yeah, put up that stuff. But it was, I get it. I mean, that's what's wild. I mean, our daughter's gonna be an 8th, and now we've got like some dudes coming to the house.
Sure you do. That's right.
And it's fine. I'm like, and as long as they're respectful, like it's good. Like you're gonna sit there and I'll hang out on the couch in a tank top watching Platoon upstairs. When you walk by, just have a firm idea of what's going on.
You'd be like Will Smith out of Bad Boys 2. Like,
There's always one kid in every group. I just look side eyes at him, and I just know like this kid's going to end up at Lucasville. Like I can see it. I just know how this is. You can see the signs; they're all pointing in the same direction. And they don't want to. Dude, this week, fellas, this is NBC this week. So he's got some test that's not really a test. I said, is this a test? He goes, yeah. He goes, does it matter to your grade? No, my grade's already done.
Like state testing?
That's fantastic. So you love that. Let's just do a test for no reason. Okay, fine. But that's better than the rest of the week.
It's really a way to get the kids to buy in. Yeah.
Goat yoga tomorrow. They're going to do a little goat yoga. Goats are going to come and they're going to do yoga. I mean, they got an ice cream truck and a movie on, so that would be Thursday. They have an ice cream truck and they're going to the movie theater. That's going to happen on Thursday. And then Friday, they're busing them to Cedar Point, and then that's it.
Let me ask you a question then.
Are you living in a Seattle suburb, or are you living up in Cleveland?
I don't know what's going on here, man. But
why go to school this week? Why do it this week?
I don't know. This is what I said. That's what I said when I took him to school this morning. He's like, Dad, why am I even going to school? I said, it's a great question. And you can actually fly and stay places very reasonable. Not necessarily Memorial Day weekend, but in the days before and after. I told the blonde, I'm like, we got to take vacation now. Like these kids are doing nothing.
Absolutely. And except staying up at friends' houses and turning into little jerks. I mean, that's
it.
We had a talk last night. I was talking with Corey. We need to have a talk with the older kids, especially our 3 older ones, because they're going to be in.
What are your ages?
RJ will be a freshman. McLean's,
Come on.
Oh yeah, dude. We got they all have e-bikes now, so it's just basically scooter squad just driving around.
Okay, so we have that too. There's a kid going like 28 miles an hour on one of those electric scooters through town, and I'm like, how is this kid gonna survive getting across town?
Oh yeah,
he's on sidewalks, he's off sidewalks. It's just lawless.
It is. I mean, they have them part of it is convenience for me. I didn't drop RJ off this morning. His swim practice was at 6:15. I'm like, you got it, bud. You can ride your bike over and say, all right, yeah, we're good, Dad. So he's in 8th or 9th. McLean will be in 8th, and then our third son, Cullen, will be in 5th. And I'm with you. I'm like, okay, we got out of school on Thursday. Like hours spent accrued in our home by these kids over the last 5 days. I'm not sure how many nights, whatever. I'm like, but we got to figure out, like, what are going to be the restrictions this summer? Like, what are the expectations for how we're going to operate? Because this come and go as you please. Hey, there's going to be 8 people staying the night now. It's 8 o'clock and we need food. Like, that's not, oh, by the way, then tomorrow I'm staying here. I only came home to shower and get clothes. Like, that's not, we're not in college, okay? So, like, trying to get the wrap on that, Beau, is going to be pretty tough.
Dude, so Friday night they had a lacrosse practice that finished this weekend, and they had a lacrosse practice Friday night, and then we went to like the high school playoff game. And as we were leaving, I could see them all scheming, like they had little schemes. And so then my old NBC then texted my wife, and he was like, "Can I have a sleepover?" So then he comes to me, he goes, "Mom said it," in front of them, Mom, and these are all kids I've coached in football and basketball. Mom said it's okay if you said it's okay. So not only are the kids standing there, but their parents are standing there. And I'm a notorious no. I say no to everything. They ask, no. Can I do this? No. 0. No. But I'm in front of everybody. I'm like, all right, fine. Like, I wasn't planning for this. So we get these little animals over here Friday night, and they're in the pool, they're bouncing around, whatever. Like, it's lawless, right? What are you going to do? They're 6th grade, they're 12-year-olds. So I go down and I put some restrictions on them. So it gets to be 11 o'clock. I had a pop, and I said to my wife, I said, "You know what? You okayed this.
You take care of him.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. You are now Jesus. I wish you all the best of luck." She goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I don't know how." I'm like, "Look, you said the yes. Enjoy yourself. Welcome to what 12-year-olds are." So the next morning she stayed up with them, and she not stayed up with them like they were down in the basement screwing around, but she could like hear them. So like I said, "What time did you go to bed?" She goes, 1:45. Yeah. And I said, "Well, what did you think?" And she goes, "I'm never doing that again. I had no point of reference on what 12-year-old boys say and what comes out of their mouths." And I'm like, because she had two sisters. I'm like, you're married to me. Just think of what I was as an adolescent.
Yes.
What I was capable of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to know what it is? And I had watched the Tom Brady roast again, and I had my oldest son watch the end of it with me. I'm like, of course, like, that's terrible. Like, what do you think that they say? Like, what do you think goes out of their mouths? Like, when they're 14, 13 years old, they have no idea what they're talking about.
No. I guarantee, and I told my wife this. She's like, "Well, I think they were watching some horror movie in the basement." And she goes, "I don't think it's appropriate." I'm like, "Honey, when I was 12, I was watching Basic Instinct. That's a lot. I had definitely seen Basic Instinct by the time I was 12. I'm like, this is what boys do. This is how it goes."
I think it's shocking what comes out of their mouth. You should look at their phone. Look at their internet browser history.
Well, they're not there yet. Okay. Yeah. They're not there yet, but
I think they've regressed. I'll tell you this, Beau. I think they've, like, men in general have regressed as a species. Like, when you'll watch the interactions between, and NBC's not quite there, give them another year, but like, girls are much more mature, which has always been the case. But I feel like they've kind of maintained. Boys, on the other hand, like, not even close to any type of, like, hey, feeling things out. Hey, where are we at? You know, like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, if you want, you got to go over and put your arm around her and, like, sit down on a couch. Like, we got a little camera downstairs, so I'll flip it on every once in a while. I'm like, this is
same.
I'm like, dude, what are you worried about? Like, worried about nothing. Like, you see this? These guys are, like, huddled in the corner as if they're about to be, like, ushered into Shawshank. It's embarrassing.
That's right. I told my wife that. I said, I definitely made out with a girl in 6th grade.
Yes.
That's a lock. I definitely did that. That definitely happened. I think you're right, but I think also, like, these kids are, from the boys' perspective, like, Bob, and Beam too, like, we could not have navigated what is now a normal dress for females.
Oh, yeah. I
couldn't have done it.
It's too much.
There's a lot going on. I got 3 boys, thank God, but, like, I don't I drop off in the morning and I'm like, this is all right? This is how we're dressing?
There is no dress code, Beau. Like, we used to have rules. It is nom.
We got to live back. It is nom. There are no rules. Come on, dude. Like, there are no rules in nom, Walter.
Like, halter tops? Like, wait, like, we couldn't wear that. Like, you had to have an inch on the top. Like, whatever happened to
covered shoulders?
Well, whatever happened to putting your hands down to your side and your pants had to be as long as your fingers? I'm like, those days are gone.
Even if they are down to your fingers, they're translucent.
Yeah, so exactly.
What's the difference?
You going to wet t-shirt contest later? Like, what are you doing
we
here?
couldn't wear hoodies in middle school. I remember that was like a big deal.
You couldn't?
No, yeah, they were like, no hoodies allowed. Unless they were like specific, like team, like sport issue,
like Elk Pride Never Died.
Yeah,
hoodies,
that.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you this: my freshman year, Beau, We'll get you out. That was right after Columbine. Obviously, there was heightened awareness, and they had the trench coat mafia and all this. So they came in an announcement like nobody's wearing trench coats to school. We had 2 guys who showed up. We had an all-freshman school. Our principal was the former AD, old school, 2 boys, former football coach. He had like 1 year left, so he didn't give a crap anymore. 2 dudes showed up like trench coats outside. I watched him bury these dudes like Lenny Briscoe into their parents' car and rip the coats off of them and then throw them on the ground and push the kids in the door.
That's what we need. We need that guy. Where's he? Get him a post. Every middle school in Ohio, I need that guy at a post. Watching, just keeping an eye out on things, making sure everything's the way it ought to be.
Hey, enjoy this. What should be a very, very get stuff done week for school, all right?
Oh, God, just ridiculous. By the way, I know we're up against it, but it's so weird not having the memorial.
It is.
So strange.
Yeah. Right?
Last week I was messed up about it. I'm like,
Me too.
We got the Memorial Tournament coming up here next week. I'm like, nope, it's next week.
I could enjoy a day or 2 off before I dive into the Memorial, so it may not be the worst thing.
Give the liver a rest.
Transfusions galore next week. Thanks, Unc. Have a great show.
All right, boys. Be well.
There you go. So Uncle Beau with us every single Tuesday at this time. We're going to reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no major crashes that we are tracking, but we are watching busy traffic out in Dublin on 33. Also on I-71 as you come into downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Right now during Ram season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab. 4x4 for $479 a month for 42 months with $4,279 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024.
We go to war for you.
Hi, it's Robert Sugar. Uber or Lyft accident? At Sugar Schnar Trial Attorneys, we know the law and we'll fight for your rights. Call us at 877-WARFORYOU.com or visit warforyou.com for a free consultation. Know your rights and get the results you deserve.
That's 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. 877-WAR-FOR-YOU or visit warforyou.com.
War for you. warforyou.com.
Have you heard? There's always more at Speedway, like a Big Bite hot dog and Big Gulp drink for only $2.50. Are you dreaming of that fizzy Big Gulp, or a dressed-up hot dog with zesty relish, or spicy jalapenos, or tangy mustard, or... Okay, wipe the drool off your face. Well, whatever you're in the mood for, we have it, and we mean all of it. Now, you can get more with less, like your go-to combo. Get your big meal deal for only $2.50 with Speedy Rewards. There's always more at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. Speedway has the right to end this promotion early, plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms. All rights reserved.
Generation Radio, classic hits, original artists. Saturday, June 15th, the Columbus Commons. Join Jay DeMarcus of Rascal Flatts, Jason Shep of Chicago, and Steve Barone of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers as they bring you the biggest classic hits of all time. Live on stage, the hits of Rascal Flatts, Chicago, and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and more. Generation Radio with the Columbus Symphony. Tickets on sale now at C-Bus Arts Ticket Center or picnicwiththepops.com. Presented by Nationwide Picnic with the Pops. The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take 2.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
New 2024. Up to 72 months Aria. Up to 36 months Rogue. And 6/3/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Riker. We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
This show's sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We blinked and 2024 is already halfway over. Pretty incredible. What's something that you've done this year you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause, set intentions, and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs. But this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we'll see increasing clouds with a high around 72. There will be a pop-up shower or storm. As we head towards this afternoon, we're going low 70s for the highs. Tonight we get down to the mid-50s. It'll be chilly tomorrow. We're looking at highs only around 70. We'll have numerous showers. And then as we head towards Thursday, the sunshine returns. That's a look at your latest weather report on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Things up here. We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Beau and the boys going to be on until noon. After we're done, they're going to check in with Aaron Portzline coming up here at 11:33. Talk a little Jackets GM search. What's that going to look like if Don Waddell is indeed the guy? Comes in. He was the GM and the president for the Canes organization. That if he comes here, is he going to assume both roles? Does he have guys worked out for that? Is Pascal going to stay the coach? What are you going to do with Elvis? Like, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered here before the time that next season rolls along. And kind of had been waiting on this, Bob, for a while now since Yarmo was fired.
I've waited so long I forgot about it, Beam.
Yeah, I kind of did too, that it was just not top of mind. And now you're getting to a point it does look like Don Waddell is going to be the guy moving forward here. So who knows what's going to happen with that. I envision, as we're talking to Beau, I just envision your house in the summertime as a pure chaos.
Oh, as they get older, they just get more freedom. And like last night, my daughter it's like, where's my client? She's going to stay at her friends. I'm like, okay. Thought we were going to have that talk about expectations for the summer, but we'll figure that out, Beam. We're going to work through that and see if we can't get that addressed here shortly. But yeah, it's wild. When your kids get older. And I want them, honestly, I do enjoy the fact that they can just get on their bikes, go places, go see other three-dimensional people. And I did that a lot growing up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, know when your practice times are, know where you got to get to. But it gives you some requisite level of freedom because we become so hovering over your kids. You got to let them go make some mistakes and figure things out for themselves a little bit too. And it's not easy and it's not going to always feel good, but that's probably the best way to be able to get it done.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Williams, it's obviously we've got a long ways to go before we get there. But I told you we were having a kind of a cookout at my dad's on Saturday, and he moved into the new neighborhood, and he had his neighbors over and everything. They have an awesome little patio set up. Like it's
is this the new house? Are they finally in that or no?
So they haven't broke ground on the new house, but the house that they're living in is literally like a block and a half. Like you can see the land that the new house is going to be on. So it's up there kind of in, like downtown Powell area, and we walked to Nocterra and we got, a couple of six packs and we brought him back. And William we're just kind of like leaving him on his own. Like it's outside. Like he can't get into that much trouble. I'm like, there's grass and there's, driveway and everything. And so, I'm watching him, obviously. Meredith and I both have an eyeball on him. And I forget, Mare was talking to somebody and, William's just kind of wandering. And I'm like, let's see how long it takes for anybody. I'm on it. I'm like, I'm good.
Still a little social experiment here.
Let's see how long it takes for anybody to realize that, he's maybe not around. So I'm just standing in the backyard. I'm hanging out. I'm talking to my dad. And And my stepmom goes, where's William at? She like has like a big panic. And I'm like, I don't know. Cause he's kind of like, they have like hedges and everything. Like he was kind of down like in the middle of the driveway area. And then she starts freaking out. She's like, where did he go? Where did he go? I'm like, I don't know. He started running somewhere. Couldn't see. And then she like turned the corner and he was right there. But yeah, it's always kind of fun. We were doing that when he was down at the creek bed. We're like, you just go by yourself. And as long as you don't eat a rock, like, we'll make sure that you don't do that. But everything goes into the mouth right now. Everything. Sticks, mulch, rocks, dog food, like anything that's everything that can go into his mouth, Bob, it's going in there.
Nice.
That's like the one thing you got to worry about if you're not directly next to him. It's like, what are you ingesting?
Oh, I mean, figure that out. I mean, I'd like to think you wouldn't swallow the rock. You bite it.
I don't know.
Rob Ford smoked it, but and he was a grown adult and a mayor of Toronto. But yeah, I mean, at some point, they figure those things out.
There's nothing better than being on summer break as like a early high school or middle school.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. The world was literally your oyster. You just do whatever you wanted. There were no rules. Every day was about you. It was great.
Every day was about you.
It's true. Every day was.
You're right.
Hang at the pool. Don't come home for like 3 days. Like, where you been? Around.
So we're trying to avoid Beam. I'm trying to have some level of responsibility for
I'd
my
always
kids.
text my mom, tell her where we're at. I'm like, hey, I'm over at my.
I guess you had a phone. We'd have to like call and go to our friend's house.
We still had. So I would call like. We did have phones at that point, like in middle school, but it was also to the point where you had to like pay for text. Like you would get 100 messages like a month or whatever, or else you would incur like the data overages.
You had free calls after 9.
We had free calls after 9, and I think you had free texts after 9 too. And so
you try to explain that to someone now.
Like a foreign language. And so I just remember being over at friend's house and calling our landline, like and leaving a message at our home. You're like, hey, I'm over at Mike's. I'm going to stay the night here, or can you pick me up at like tomorrow at like 8 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I asked my wife, I go, when is she coming home tomorrow? Because this might just blend into like another day of just the endless weekend that never stops. So we need to have some constraints around when we're going to see her again.
Do you? She'd be fine.
No, listen, I'm all about opportunities and freedom, and I think that that's great. But we also have to have a little instruction still in life. We're not quite fully formed yet.
Before we get out of here today, our daily fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Who do you consider to be the Cleveland Browns' biggest rival? Deshaun said it's the Steelers. So you're going to go Bengals, Ravens, or Steelers. Sharky, you've already agreed with Deshaun. You are taking the Pittsburgh Steelers as your biggest rival? Shaking his head over there, vehemently nodding yes and no. I can't speak on that. I don't know who you would consider to be your biggest rival. I'm not a Browns fan, but Steelers and Browns are always pretty good, and the Steelers have beaten you to a pulp, I feel like, over the last, 10, 15 years, especially over there. Like in Pittsburgh, that place has been a house of horrors for them.
It's started to turn a little bit, shift back over the last few, but over the last day, since the Browns returned, it has not been good.
I think that playoff game, that playoff victory against the Steelers was had to be an all-time sports day for Shark. Just an all-timer. Go in there, and the game was over like the first 2 minutes too, wasn't it? Like defensive touchdown, and then
they got after him
like 21-0, like the first 5 minutes of the game. I remember that being crazy. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say? Reconvene on a big Wednesday if they allow us. You good with that?
Let's do it.
Everybody have a great day. Uncle Beau and the boys are up next. We are back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes to let you know about, but we are seeing busy traffic on 33 out in the Plain City area. Also on I-71 as you approach Polaris. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, go 1-800-GAMBLER. The Rockies ended the Guardians' 9-game winning streak yesterday. The Guardians have been the most profitable team in Major League Baseball this season on the money line. $100 bets on the Guardians on the money line each game will bring a profit over $1,300 this year. Cleveland is a -165 favorite in Colorado tonight. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
At Take 5, we're faster than you think. That means we'll change your oil and get you back on the road in less time than it takes to get over from the express lane to the exit ramp. Just sit back and relax while our fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and we are proud to serve our customers for over 40 years, where our name means a great deal. So now it's time to drop those prices so you can save big. All bulk mulchers are now $10 off a yard. I told you, it's time to save. Visit us online at ohiomulch.com.
We all know breakfast is an important part of your day, but sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. You know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of select Metabo HPT nails. And there's more. Save 10% on select shingles when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.